So beautiful. Look at us. So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You'll say a prayer.
First Corinthians 16:13-14. Stay alert, stand firm in the faith, behave like men, grow strong. Let everything you do be done in love. And we'll pray. Father, thank you just for this group of people. Thank you for this stream. Thank you for this opportunity to be able to show people what they need to know in a way that they're excited to learn. We love you, Lord. We thank you for the holidays that are coming up that will encourage people to spend time together, spend time with their families. We thank you for the chance to do that. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm Lead Tracker E, and this is Jerry Williams, also known as Lead Horse Choctaw. We have 4 Facebook groups: the Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman and Son Center and Database, the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers and Surrounding Areas, the Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path, and the Lead Tracker E Facebook page. And then we also have the Lead Tracker E YouTube channel, and we would very much appreciate it if you haven't already subscribed to that one. Go over there and do that.
Also, we're going to be adding, we're doing some more videos on the other channel, the Tracker E's channel. So you won't see them here, but it'll be over there. So if you're not subscribed, I would subscribe so that you catch both, and you're not out of the loop.
Yeah, the two channels go together, and we do have Joyce will be on the Tracking Miracles and Encounters segments that are coming up, and I think that'll be as early as next week. We have our book, The Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warriors Path, and also it's available now in Spanish. And we're excited about that so that we can reach a broader audience and keep more people safe.
And the Spanish book, the Spanish version, is titled Grande, el Depredador y el Sendero del Guerrero y Espiritual. It's all in Spanish. Just books and pages of information written in Spanish to help our friends get the information, as everyone who speaks English. We want to make sure that everyone's safe out there. So if you hadn't got that one and you speak Spanish, it would behoove you to get that book.
We have our website. Oh, with the book right now we have a sale going on. One of those 2 books and the DVD, both of them for $55. A book and the DVD.
Yep, you could get either book, either or, with a Bigfoot documentary book. In the documentary, there are Bigfoot's photos and videos. Actually, let me show you a photo of one. This is a still photo, but in the video, in the documentary, you'll see it in the trees moving, moving his head, his mouth, and everything. But this is just a still shot of this one. That's in the trees. It's in the documentary, but it is also a live version of the one that's in the documentary.
And our documentary is the only one that I've seen that won't leave you with more questions than answers.
Yeah.
Completely different than other people's documentaries.
Other people's documentaries are more show, lots of scenery,
lots of wondering,
a lot of guessing, a lot of excess words that don't need to be there.
You know, we packed everything we could in. We're very proud of the documentary. It's very well received.
It's just got, I can't remember if it's 1,700 or if it's 7,100 or something like that, but just the words in the documentary, it's all information. And it goes with the book. If you got the book, you got the DVD.
You know exactly what to look for.
And you know exactly what we're talking about.
Excuse me. What else? And an autographed copy of the book you can get directly from us, and that's part of that deal. It'd be $55 for both, plus $5 in shipping, which shipping actually costs more than that by the time you figure the envelope and all that.
Also, you can get the documentary by itself for $55, or you can get the book by itself, and we'll still autograph that for you for $25 plus the $5 shipping and handling. Or you can go to Amazon and get it for $5 plus tax.
50 for $25 plus tax.
$25 plus tax, the book. But if you'd rather have an autographed book, I didn't put it in the description tonight either.
If you do go on Amazon, or if you've already bought the book on Amazon, we would appreciate your review on there. We're very proud of the reviews that we've received. We get excited over every review. Otherwise, if you buy the book directly from us, you can also just send us a review and we'll blast it out the best we can on our different platforms.
I'm going to see if I can put in the description because I was in a hurry. And give me 1 second here.
We have our cocoa ready for tonight.
Yeah, we hope you got yours.
He said in the description real quick. We also have our website, thepredatorbigfoot.com, and we're very grateful to the tracker that set that website up for us. And that's an easy title that you should be able to remember. So go check that out also and share it with people.
Go to Bigfoot, PredatorBigfoot.com. That'll take you right to the new webpage where you can find links, information about purchasing a book or a documentary. We're actually thinking about doing another one, but we have to wait till all the pieces are together for what we need to do. Tracking miracles and encounters.
That's where we keep track of miracles and encounters, God's divine intervention and divine orchestration. A lot of people let those things slide by without noticing or acknowledging them, and we don't want to be like that. Hopefully Joyce will, there is a playlist. You can already go over to the Lee Treckery channel and check those out. And hopefully Joyce will be able to join us next week. She's had an incredible life, and I'm excited to hear more about it. She'll have to edit way down to even be able to fit it in. She's had so many different things and experiences. And then also there's a segment that we'll be doing on that shortly that is ways to recognize how you will understand that most of the psychics out there, and we don't recommend that you go to any psychics whatsoever, but how you will recognize the ones that are frauds and phonies. So that's going to come up on the Tracking Miracles and Encounters.
Also, I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if she would. All I can say is one of the last things and she's a God-loving woman, that she had fell on the highway, and where she fell, the car just barely went by her, and she did get hurt, but that's what we're talking about, how it, she could have fell just an inch or two further and would have got hit, but she stopped just enough, and that car went past her. But
we'll get a hold of her too and see if she'll also come on and
because she has other
share some stories.
miracles.
She sure does, yeah.
And that's what we're talking about, how everything's just.
And sometimes even things that we think are bad, when we look back in hindsight, we realize that God turned them for good, or that everything's part of a larger plan, and we want to recognize those things.
Also, standing feather stories.
Those are stories that of Jerry's journeys as lead horse Choctaw from here to the Honduras, El Salvador. He went there without a passport, and then also journeys in different events, major events in our own country's history that he was a part of, in protecting the water and protecting the rivers, protecting the land, and the stories behind the news. So that's a playlist also on the Lead Tracker E channel, and we've got more coming up with that. We keep saying that, but we're getting there.
We're getting there. Just the other day, I was like, "Oh, I got so much to do. I got to do this. I got to look at the cam. I got to do this. I got to do that."
Yeah, but there's plenty to look at in the meantime.
Yeah.
Even the old videos on this channel, older videos, and live streams. Lots of knowledge to be catching up on while you wait for new things.
Yeah, and we'll get those as soon as we can get them up.
Ways you can support the channel through Cash App, PayPal, old-fashioned P.O. Box, Super Chats. You can like, share, and subscribe. That's a free way to help the channel, get us in the algorithm, and also become a Patreon member. And
yeah, also
prayers.
We have Super Chat and Super Thanks, and that's on the banner that's going across on the bottom.
And we're grateful for anyone who supports us in any kind of way, even your encouraging words and comments, leaving comments, not just in the live stream, which we're grateful for that too, but also if you leave comments in our videos. Every time you do that, it also helps the videos to get seen more.
Sure does. Also, our tracker training course, our candidates, they have 2 more course days. We've been going over some major stuff. Everyone's picked it up really well. They're off this week, but we got 2 more weeks to go with them. And then we're going to test them out on the 19th and December 21st. We hope you join us. We're going to be having a party. We're going to be
their graduation
party, just like we did with the last group. And we're going to celebrate every group or every team that graduates. And also, we just want to make sure that we're the right fit for you and that you're the right fit for us. You have 1 month after you graduate to decide if you want to be a part of the team. You don't have to be. I mean, if you just wanted the information, which is if you've taken the course or if you're in the course, you understand the information is top notch. It's above all the rest. But if that's just what you wanted to do, that's great too. But you will have 1 month to take care of all the side things, and because we have to meet at least once a week to get our information shared to each other, certain protocols that we're going to be doing. But this new team also is very well advanced in a lot of different categories. Best trackers in the world will go through this course, and they can tell, because I've talked to rangers, I've talked to snipers, special forces, I've talked to other trackers, I've talked to just people who are
Search and
researchers,
rescue.
search
We've
and
talked search
rescue.
and rescue.
We've
Yeah.
taught search and rescue. You know, we always have had more information than any of them, and we're sharing that with the people who are willing to go through the course and attain that knowledge. But this, and we're also having some of our other trackers be in the tracking course again, as far as being an observer, and they're relearning. You know, it's more just to relearn, what's a good word?
Refresh.
Refresh
Continuing
themselves.
education.
Yeah.
Refresh over.
And there's some things that we may have not covered, so we invite them back so that they can get that
Keep
refresh.
expanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep expanding that knowledge. So also, this is a tracker channel. It's not an entertainment channel. We do have fun. We do have laughs here, but it's not for that. It's not for cutting up and just doing what you want. Although on the Wednesday, watching Wednesdays, and we've been doing a little bit more extra, but
Not just on Wednesdays, but like we may add other days, not just Wednesday, but we will try to be here every Wednesday for this kind of format.
and that's where we're a little more
Lenient.
I guess.
And we enjoy it too.
And it's fun to have people interact and put their input in also.
As long as it's about what we're actually talking about.
Yeah,
That's always the rule. Try to keep it focused.
And so that being said, we do have monitors. So languages, bad language is not allowed here. Even if you're thinking it, don't type it in. Just just forget to put those words in there.
Sometimes we're thinking it.
Well,
but we just can't say it.
But just don't type it in. Let's not get that kind of atmosphere here.
Yeah.
And we do have monitors, and we have told them or asked them to block, timeout, or delete. Well, timeout, block, and delete either the comment or the person from our channel. So if it was a mistake, we asked them to do that. And you can talk to us later if you know us through an email or something, and we can get you back if it was a mistake. But like when we're giving the lessons, or we have a guest or an interview, those are more strict. Tonight, it's a little more lenient. We encourage interaction on the topic, though. You're watching what we're watching. Let's all talk about what's going on and what people are missing or what they're doing right.
Yeah, that too.
And I would really love to see a tracking group or a researching group who was doing everything right. We'd watched, we clicked onto YouTube, and there was a guy who's got like 800,000 views on his research thing, and he didn't know what he was doing. He was going past everything. He was speeding through, talking, making noise. He was doing everything wrong, and this guy has 800 and some thousand views. And it seems to be that way. People just want to go more or flow more over to someone who's got the wrong information than go to the channel who will tell you exactly what's going on. But sometimes that's not what you want to hear. Sometimes you don't want to hear the truth. So
our goal is to keep everyone safe.
Yeah.
So that's why we do this, and this is a good format to be able to do it, so you get a visual for exactly what we're talking about in the book. And for those of you that don't already have the DVD.
So now also we do comments right after this, and then at the end we take comments on the topic. But on our Watching Wednesday and things like that, it's a little more lenient. So we're going to be going through the comments as we go.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And we'll stop the videos and answer questions or add what needs to be added. And then we'll move on.
Now, sometimes on the videos that they're watching, the person on the screen may cuss. If that bothers you, we don't really have any control over that.
Mhm.
On some of them that we're doing reactions on. So hopefully any of them that y'all send us, they're not too bad with that. And an option you could take is to mute your channel and put on closed captions.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get to the comments. Who's all here? And then we're going to
We got a full room.
start doing this again tonight. And welcome to Wednesday, watching Wednesdays. This is like one of our fun nights.
Yeah, we love this
when
too.
we don't have to be so strict. Hardcore, I guess you would say.
Lorna's here. Tracker Lorna, she
Is she
logged in
number
about
one?
3 o'clock in the afternoon. So
Yeah, I think
could
she
beat
logged in
everybody.
yesterday. I think she logged in yesterday.
Cube is here.
Look, he's saying, Lorna,
Again, you're first.
again, you're first.
Greetings and greetings. Mariella is here. Hola, Mariella.
Hola, Mariela
Bendiciones.
Bustos.
Todd Calloway's here. Says,
Todd Calloway.
happy to be here to learn more on this important subject. You are a blessing to me. Thank you. You're a blessing to us too, Todd.
Yeah, we're so glad we met. We're still talking.
Joyce is here.
Joyce. All right, Joyce. Joyce is here. And Joyce is saying hello to everybody. Keep there saying hello to each other.
Graybeard is here. He's taking the course.
Graybeard, yeah, Graybeard. He's graduated. He knows what's going on.
He knows what's up.
He knows what's up. And there's people who's told us, I've been researching for 50 years. I've been researching for 20 years, 25, whatever. But you're gonna see they walk right past everything. They don't know what they're looking for.
No one's ever taught them.
No one's ever taught them. And I'm not sure what kind of research they do. Most of them don't ever get off the path of the trail.
We noticed that today, yeah.
Most of the research stay on the trail. And if they read our book, we'd say 50 yards, no disturbance line. So, I mean, you will find in the thick vegetation, you're going to find those blinds, or on the corners, where the corners or the Ys or the curves are, you're going to find blinds. They don't even know that. So, I'm not sure.
They'll know more if they stick with this channel.
Yeah. So let's see who else is here. Graybeard, glad you're here though.
Doris is here.
Doris Diaz. Hola.
Bendiciones. Hola, Doris.
Bendiciones. How about that?
Junior's here. Hey, Junior, how you doing?
Junior Warrior is
Hope
here.
Your mom's doing well. This is Revelations 22:21. Blessings to the warrior family.
Oh.
Go ahead and put that actual verse in there if you would, Junior. I don't know what verse that is. Let's see, but thank you for it.
Truth Walker is here. All right, Truth Walker.
Where did I miss her?
Right underneath Junior.
Oh, okay. Hey, Truth Walker. And then our verse for tonight was Corinthians 16:13-14.
Mm-hmm.
Joyce says, may Yeshua's grace be with you also, Junior Warrior.
Yeah, it sure is. And Cubinator says, the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be also with you, Junior Warrior.
JR is here.
Where's JR?
He says, hi, all can watch first half tonight, the remainder on replay. Okay.
Where's JR?
Yeah, last week's went pretty fast.
The
last one we did. It's a little further down.
Well, let's say hello to the one before that.
Did I miss him?
Mm-hmm. Someone, two before.
Where are you at? Oh, Danny Lee Smith. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I skipped right past that name. How you doing, Danny?
Danny Lee Smith is here. And now we have Junior. I meant JR.
Okay.
Oh, he can only render on replay. How come you can only watch first half? What's up? You got a turkey in the oven or something?
Oh, that might be it.
Cubinator says he just had his protein shake, so he's all good. I had mine today also. Had a good workout today. I'm trying to make sure we're staying in shape. We got a lot more tracking and things we're getting ready for, so Got to be in shape while you're out there in that field.
Put on weight over the holidays and over the winter. We're trying to avoid that this year.
Thank you, Cubinator. Super sticker. Thank you.
Thank you, Cube.
That sure helps a lot. It really does. Who is this?
Greeting Danny.
Melinda
M. Damon.
Damon.
I subscribe to you. Good. Thank you.
How
you
doing,
Melinda?
You're here. We're glad you're here.
One of my longtime high school friends is named Melinda. You don't hear that name very often, but it's really very pretty.
I'm Melinda too. We're still friends. We just hadn't seen each other forever. Katie.
Hey, Katie, how you doing?
She says, hi, dear friends. Uh-oh, look who's back.
Edward Kung Fu Mashburn. Glad you're here. He says, God bless you and your family, and God bless everyone in chat tonight. Praying for you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Prayers always appreciated. What a great group. Shade's here.
The Shade. All right.
Elastic Machinery's here.
Elastic Machinery. All right. Glad you're here. He said he'll be watching in the background. All right. And Joyce is saying hello to everybody who she missed. And Graybeard says,
if you know these creatures exist, the course has a lot of valuable information that will help you and your loved ones. Thank you for saying that. There's Bernard. How you doing, Bernard?
I said, I'd be happy if any of the Yowie researchers would simply listen to the insights I give them. We do too. And we got a surprise for you tonight, Cubinator. Bernard is here. He says, greetings all. And Cubinator also says, everybody's saying hello to Bernard. And Cubinator also says,
researching for 50 years with their eyes shut.
Yeah,
they're not recognizing patterns.
And
because once you point out the patterns to them, they go, oh, okay.
Yeah, oh.
Now I get it.
And they're also not.
Hunters are the same.
Hunters or. Because if you're a hunter, you understand how to lay a trap, how to lay a snare, how to make a deadfall, and things like that. And these things do the same thing. But these researchers who's out there saying 50 plus years or 30 plus years, whatever, they're walking right past everything. We're going, well, there's something
well,
right there.
Yeah, it's like they want to say that everything that's out there is just natural or an accident, except for very few extreme things. And we're saying, no, you're so used to seeing it that you think that it's natural.
Yeah, we had a tracker meeting where we kind of talked about that the wind does not bend and wrap around and pull, And just like the one in Rock City, that was pulled around through and down. I mean, the tree was
huge
here,
tree.
And this tree, big, thick tree, was pulled around and pushed down between another one, and like that. And there, we don't have
videos on Something Is Wrong in Wright City, WRIGHT. It's right up in the middle of town, and these things are stalking this man's small children, like 3-year-old children, right up at the house. Houses, it's a close neighborhood,
And most of the stray animals are gone. So people are next. Homeless people are next. So everyone be careful out there.
Yeah. Appalachian Mountain Man.
Appalachian Mountain Man is back.
I think I'm supposed, if I was from there, I would say Appalachian, I think. He says, hello, everyone. We're going to get a good laugh tonight.
We always do. We always do.
And we don't do this to mock people, but you got to laugh sometimes.
Oh, JR's got to go. He's got to go to church tonight.
Oh, okay, JR.
Very acceptable.
Scott's live.
Hey, Scott. I says, what are we watching tonight? Tonight,
we're going to Australia.
We're going to Australia.
Down under.
There's a Yowie chaser that's running around out there who there was a longer version but we think you can only take the short version like we can take it. And it's only about 12 minutes, but we're going to cut it up and we're going to go through it. But man, it's Dallas, anyway, we're going to get to that. And then we're going to go listen to the Sierra sounds.
And
We're going to listen to the professionals intake. We're going to listen to the prominent people that people would listen to and listen to what they got to say. And then we're going to tell them exactly what they're listening to. They don't know. And those are the people who get on the documentaries, who gets on the TV channel thing, whatever they are.
They
series.
get the respect.
They get the respect, and they don't even know what you're talking about. So we're going to be going over that tonight also.
Bernard says, my girlfriend's name is Melinda. All right.
All
It's not
right.
the same Melinda, is it?
Maybe the one you knew.
No. The one I knew is in, no, I know her husband.
Everybody's saying hello to Scott. Scott's live. Revelation 22:21, the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that verse. I just didn't know where it lived. Okay.
That's right. The grace of the Lord, of our Lord Jesus Christ, will be with you all.
Thank you, Junior.
Scott saying hello to everybody. Cube there says, laugh out loud. Yowie Tracer. Chaser. Yeah. This guy, he would, if he only knew what was going on. I don't know. It's just some people you could still tell exactly what's going on, and they would still think that they knew what they was talking about.
Scott's Life says, oh, wow. In Appalachian, Mountain Man says, Lee Trekker E, you're right, Appalachian. Cube says, yes, please, I can only take so little of Yowie Chaser, LOL.
Yeah, so we're not going to go do a whole thing on him. That's why we're going to do two things. Yeah, it would just watching how this person goes out, and he says he's a researcher. If we'll see. We'll go to that.
He does not reach the same conclusions.
Yeah.
Appalachian.
Okay. Truth Walker says this is going to be good. Scott saying hello to Truth Walker, and Bernard
says, I've heard Ron Moorhead's recordings in person. Gave me the goosebumps. They were actually having conversations. Wow, mind blowing.
Well,
your mind will be blown after you
make sure you stay with us, because we're going to go over that.
And we've got to
what we call it a new perspective, because no one is using what is actually being done in front of everybody. But we'll get to that in just
when you hear it, it'll make perfect sense.
Now it is a real Bigfoot's. It is real Bigfoot's. The sounds are.
Yeah. We'll explain why they're hearing what they're hearing.
We're not disagreeing with that, but it's what they think they know is not happening. But we'll tell you exactly what it is.
Hey, we're doing pretty good on the likes. There's 19 watching and 16. Well, 16 likes. That's good.
Well, then there's 3 people that didn't hit like.
We're not doing good.
Keep there is very far from the same conclusions. Yowie Chaser.
Very far from you.
Yeah, that guy is very far. And while I load that, we can say a little more hellos.
See, okay.
And
we're going to load up the.
I think I'm going to also.
Video. Do you think I need to turn these lights off, or it'll be okay?
Because
we'll see in just a minute.
Yeah, we're gonna have to turn them down for sure, but in just a minute. I may have to dim this one.
You'll have to get those 2, and I'll get this one.
Okay. And which one was we? Let me make sure we have it right, because I had to change the phone. No, maybe I can just go to history, huh?
Yeah.
Was it that one?
No.
Right there. It was 19 minutes, and we're not going to do the third one. That's way too much on this guy. And here's 1948 is what we're going to be going on.
Okay. Get the camera? Yeah.
We got our sticks.
We got our
Let's hit the
sticks.
lights first before we change anything.
Okay.
You get that
Scott's
one.
Life says, love the painting in back of you too. Thank you. Okay.
Night Stars is here. Okay, give us
I get
1
these
second.
too.
Okay. I got it.
Oh, look at you. That poker's coming in
I
handy.
got this. I can get it from over here. So now
Hey, Night Stars.
here we go. I said I could. All right. So
Now we got. Now
this
we
is-
look spooky.
This is what we needed the cocoa for. Let me turn this around here. Camera. Dark, spooky scene. We're going to put this way. And give us a second because we got to line this up. Maybe we can scoot this a little bit.
Here we go.
There we go.
All right, we're watching Yowie, what do you say? Yowie Chaser. Yowie Chaser, Bird Bell. We'll have to look it up again.
I'm not gonna mess with that.
Yeah, the phone's precariously perched. Elastic Machinery says there's more uneducated tracking in these React videos than you can shake a stick at. Oh, but we'll take the challenge.
There sure is. Hey, and we're gonna shake a stick at it.
Good one.
Let me see if I can. I need
Well,
to get
our
this.
opening scene is a big bow.
I need to get this up
You need
sideways.
prop.
Maybe one of those almanacs.
Here's a thin one.
Yeah. Let me make sure I got two. I'll try to get this even. Yeah, this will work. That'll work right there. Kind of good. Kind of good. Let's see.
Everybody see the bow? Oh, we didn't even go over our. This is called a bow. This is one of the things we'll be looking for.
And this is already starting because right here also is a blind that's going to be starting off here. And of course, we're at a waterway. So everyone knows the waterways, we're going to find logs laying across. You know, there's going to be probably downstream, whatever. But those logs are called bridges, and that's in our book. And I was looking at that. I wasn't sure about that right there.
The creek has a bend in it, and those are also always. Oh, there's a lot of action usually around the bends in pats and creeks.
Let's
Perfect
see.
place for an ambush.
Blinds and hides are on page 127. Bridges, embankments, and ravines are on page 138 in your Predator Bigfoot book. It teaches you what to look for as what we're about to see this guy look for.
Passing by.
Passing by. All right, here we go.
Now we Chaser, we're back at Burlberg Road.
All right, first of all, we got a big bowl right here. This is a blind, and this is a small bridge. I'm sure this was a little bit longer at one time. And then it looks like we got some bows down here.
Bow right here.
Yep, that's a bow. But this is a blind, this is a hide right here.
When you get in an area that has a lot of bows, they're in that area. They're hunting in that area.
Yep.
There's some water in here today. I've even got my new shoes on. I'm going to walk across the water. I'm getting wet.
lot of
Oh,
people do
no.
that.
Okay, right off the bat.
Problem, and this dark area back here would be an area to be careful of.
But this is used for the animals to get up here and climb up and make it up, and the animals will use that. There will be a trap area up here, and there'll be a trap area over here also in this blind.
So normally there's a pretty nice sidewalk right through this tree.
So, but these are bridges that the Bigfoots use.
No.
Calm down, sir.
And it's raining.
You got hiking boots on.
All right,
Don't
change
worry
of
about
plans, guys. We're wearing the hiking thongs, but we're going upper class.
Hiking thongs?
We have socks as well. Oh, this is going to be gold.
That's not
That's a
recommended for
researcher.
snow. He doesn't have
Shit,
enough
that's going
sense
pretty
to
hard.
take his socks off.
Oh,
Yeah, common sense would
Did he
be
know those socks come off?
take them off, put them on the other side.
So he's going to walk around in wet socks and get.
And even with our trackers, we say take at least 3 pair of socks with you.
He can take them off, take the even those shoes. It wouldn't hurt to get wet, but he could still walk across in the shoes if he had to, because he sounds a bit worried.
Could have, but
And then put his dry socks back on the other side. Hello.
yeah, this guy's just starting off all along. And this looks like a bow right here already.
Yeah.
Right here.
Right there at that curve.
Right there at the curve.
man, that's a bit of yeah. Well, that feels awesome.
Wow.
Now let's
You
go
really
find
did
the alley. I've got a good few.
A lot of vines.
Sorry about that. I gotta go back a little bit.
If you carefully look at the vines, a lot of times you'll find they're woven together. They're not just
Oh,
naturally
this is going to
grown.
be gold. Oh, shit, that's going pretty hard. Oh, man, that's a bit of yeah. Well, that feels awesome. Now let's go find the alley.
Okay, so where I said that's a bow, that's actually a tree break. This is broke right here. This is a blind. This is a hide area right here. That may even be one right there.
You know, if you had to get out of somewhere in a hurry, you would not want thongs. Over here we call them flip-flops. You wouldn't want those on.
Yeah, he's walking right past all this stuff. You know, this is not natural. There's a blind right there. You got to look out for things like this, things like that, things like this one. But also, this is not the best video as far as it's
Being
got
clear,
being clear,
clarity,
yeah. So we gotta take that into consideration. But
Hey,
this
Bernice is in the room. Hey,
Bigfoots
Bernice.
do this, and they use the top parts for blind areas, the bushy part, the treetops.
I've got a good feeling today. Yeah, with the
Yeah, they're bowing across the whole pathway here. And
That means this path is prey.
now, even though this is one coming up this way, this one's coming up this way, it is still a bow. And a lot of the times you're going to see trees out there kind of leaning that way. It's only because the end got loose and it popped back up. Maybe a break in the back right here.
water running. It's actually good because they won't be able to hear when you sneak up on them,
That
hopefully.
area is a good place for a blind. Right there when the animals are going up and down.
Remember, we said on this side, there's going to be a blind. There's going to be a trap. And this is a perfect trap area. This also down here is a good trap area for them to come across. Sit right there and wait for them.
So let's see how my theory goes.
Uh-oh, he's got a theory.
So I believe that maybe they come here when there's a lot of water in the creeks. Might be wrong.
I
Worth
believe
a
they
shot.
come there anytime.
That's when they send.
What do we say about listening to people that say might be, possibly, could be, maybe?
Theory. I have a theory.
It's not who you want to get your.
Here's another bow.
your life-saving knowledge from, put it that way.
Creeks. Might be wrong. It's worth a shot. That's what.
Even when there's not a lot of water there, they'll still be coming there because
Look
that's going to
at-
have water. Even a little water will still attract the animals.
All this stuff that's around him, they're here. Even right here, this is a bridge, but the water's moved it. But it was used before. Here you have a bowl right here. So we gotta be, this guy's not paying attention or he just doesn't know.
They seem to be. All the people say, oh, mate, reckons he seen one here the other day, jumped the creek. Creek should have been full yesterday.
That's a not only just a leaner, but that's used to keep people on the path. But right behind it is where they're gonna have a right there too, where they're gonna have a blind area. They're gonna be set right behind it. If you find trees that are laid across to keep you on the path, there's gonna be a blind area behind there, mostly behind the tree like this, kind of like that little face right there. But you'll find that on, and they're staying right on the path. 50 yards out is where you're gonna find the bigger blinds, the bigger trap areas, the bigger bows. It's gonna be off in a distance. This is like a no disturbance line. They're trying not to cause you nervousness, but they want you to keep walking. They want you to keep going deeper.
They like you taking that path.
Yep.
As well. The other guy that seen one with his daughter, she said she was walking through deep water as well.
All these little curves
Right behind,
are
yep,
danger zones.
right here on the curve, but right here is where it sets. And it would set right behind that tree while someone's walking, either coming or going.
Because it's going to be a blind spot when they're coming from this direction.
Yeah.
And they can also see that creek from there.
Yeah, so let's pay attention. This guy isn't.
Well, so while it's raining,
All down
we'll give it a go.
right here.
Yeah, that's a blind. This whole area is a blind right in here.
And again at the curve.
Right at the curve, right where it's supposed to be. Looks like a face up here too.
Mm-hmm. And you want to look for the discolorations, the odd colors. It's just an odd gray green, olive green that
like a blur out there.
Sometimes it's a little misty looking.
Misty,
you can even
smoky.
look a little bluish gray. Yeah, smoky, right?
Yeah.
You want to look for those discolorations that don't match everything else that you're seeing.
And don't think that all the Bigfoots have the same face like Harry and Henderson. Some of them have a reptilian look. Some of them have a snake face. Some of them have a bird face. Some of them have a kangaroo face over there. All different types. Some of them will look like the wombat.
It's what in their generations have they eaten or mated with in their, in their breeders.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find that we go into it for several pages on appearance, starting at page 51 of the book.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give her the GO.
Tracking and reading signs is page 115.
TikTok.
Tracking and reading signs is page 115 of the book. Translucent viewing starts on page 111 of the book. And shadow language, which you'll understand more by the end, it starts on page 107 in the book.
So he's coming up to a water. This is a bridge.
That looks like that was a pull down.
Yeah, this is an old pull down used as a blind for right here. Here's another trap area for observation, usually more for the nighttime. There's a dark figure right there. Have to be aware of that. And also at these ravines, you got to be very careful. There should be one there. There should be one on this side or on this side.
We call those embankment blinds.
That's the most water I've seen in here, guys.
But you can see that this is all just manipulated here. And it'll sit right there at nighttime or
Especially
in a translucent
what's
look.
coming up over this.
Now, I don't even know if this guy knows about the translucency, but I don't know. Let's see.
That's a trap area right there.
Everybody see the bridge?
See the bridge, and you see here.
Look at those discolorations over here. This is something sitting right here.
Animals that don't want to get wet are going to run, or people.
And
It
looks like it's
go
sitting
straight
there.
across something like this.
This is a trap area. This is something there, something there. Look at that dark
All
area
those
there.
dark areas you need to watch. That's what when we talk about shadow language, you're looking at it long enough to pull out the differences in shade and tonality so that you can see shadow on shadow, because a lot of times they're described as blacker than black, darker than dark. That's what you want to look for.
And you're always going to have a trap on one side of the bridge, and you're going to have a trap down here on this side of the bridge, usually in the embankment.
Junior, if you haven't already left, good night, and happy Thanksgiving to you too.
So this is a trap area. This embankment right here is a trap area. And it doesn't have to be the 75,000-pound Bigfoot. These are for small ones to watch for the bigger ones. The bigger ones get to eat. And this shadow's moved over a little bit, but you can still see that bridge leading right into the trap area.
Also, look how this is woven over that, that's over that.
Yeah, that's all woven in there to keep it there. That's to keep this stick in place so they can get one coming this way, or they can get them coming this way. And you got some pull downs over here. Remember, trees grow vertical, trees grow up. They don't come back down this way.
You want to go towards the sun.
I don't know if you can see right up there.
Be careful here.
Yeah.
Also, this whole area right now with that water rushing like it is, you don't have the benefit of your ears.
And you got to watch out for embankment blinds right here.
A lot can sneak up on you where the water is rushing.
These overhangs, you got to watch out because there will be a hole underneath there.
They'll tuck right up in there. They can sit in that water.
And they can swim. They can hold their breath. They can swim underwater.
But there's a lot of water coming out of up there. Wow. We'll get up there in a sec.
Let me try to back that up just a second.
Water coming out of up there. Wow. We'll get up there in a sec.
That whole dark area right there would be a perfect spot to sit and ambush.
Embankment blind right here. On the other side, this one watches that side. The other one on that side watches this side. And there'll be another one over here.
Water in the jungle.
Yeah, I can't. Hard to work this thing. So here's an embankment blind. We're all right through here. See how that's going underneath there?
Sometimes those will go back a long distance.
Mm-hmm. And this is all an embankment blind underneath here. They will come out, swim underneath there, get whatever, go back in. This is all underground. There's caves underneath here. They have their own cave system.
That might be, I can't tell right now. That might be a pull down.
Yeah, that might be a pull down too. It sure looks like one.
Oh, we're in the jungle.
Way too close. Same thing, same pattern.
You got a blind straight across. This whole area is a blind. That's a observation or a blind or a trap area.
They can see anyone coming down that hill, they can be waiting.
These bushes there, they're all pushed up here. They'll sit right behind there or sit right in there. That looks like a bow right here.
Guess he didn't need to worry about getting his socks wet this time. He's walking in wet socks.
Yeah.
That would be a danger zone right there. It looks like it curves.
Here's
It's
also
dark.
a blind. This whole area here. Looks like something could be sitting right there also.
What we got to do is when we get to all these creeks, is try and be quiet as best as we can, just in case anything's swimming down here.
We agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm actually.
Okay, we are. I'm gonna back this up just a second.
All right, guys.
This whole area is a blind, and this is a road going that way and a trail going this way.
Yeah,
Right
the corners are another spot you have to watch
The
out for.
corners are where they're going to be setting up so they can watch both ways and straight down this way. Let's see if I can get that up.
And any of that thick overgrowth like that, and if you inspect it closely, you'll see a lot of times that other things are woven in on purpose. It's not accidental, just overgrowth.
Before we go a little bit further, let's see who's out here. Not stars. She says gnarly area. CT is here.
Hey,
All
CT, I was
right.
wondering about you earlier today.
Sure was. And there's the Graybeard said, is that a break in the middle? I'm not sure.
We didn't catch your comment in time, Graybeard.
Gnarly area.
Yeah, that's
Mariella.
the truth.
Q-Meter says, unfortunately, too many so-called Yahweh researchers wear flip-flops in our book. Really?
Yeah, that's wild with the scorpions and the snakes.
That must be why they can't find nothing.
And they can't. Well, it must be why they stay on the trail.
Yeah. Yeah, what the heck?
Cube says no sense whatsoever. Oh, Elastic Machinery says, hey, Night Stars. Yes, I thought that was really interesting about the two types of bridges, how there can be a predator on both sides. Also, in that part of the world, they call flip-flops thongs.
Mm-hmm. He says no sense whatsoever. You're right. And Bernice is
Didn't have enough sense to take his socks off. Bernice, Tracker B, we need to get you back on soon, too.
Sure do. We need to catch up with you.
We love it when you check in.
And Not Stars and Truth Walker are saying that looks familiar.
Yeah, they went on a real good track here recently.
Yep, there's some trackers and they got some very needed information.
In an area that has a lot of
Missing people.
Drownings and missing people.
And Not Stars says, we know what that is, right, Q? The family wearing thongs. Yeah.
Yeah, we had already let him know that wasn't the word we use around here.
Yeah. And Cuban says he doesn't seem to want to know. He's a self-styled expert, unfortunately. Yeah, you're right.
Well, he's putting himself in danger not to learn some things.
Yeah, and Junior is leaving. He had to go. There's Bob.
Hey, Bob.
There's Scott. Let me get Scott's first. He said, tall trees ahead. Better be looking up.
Absolutely.
Sure,
Thank you. Yeah.
He sure does. And Bob says,
from the bottom to the top.
The bridges lead right into the predator's mouth. Send some
Lead.
lead downstairs to the end of the bridges.
bridges.
You're right. That's what we would do too.
Unfortunately, where they are over there in Australia, they're not allowed to carry weapons like that.
Yeah, they're sitting ducks over there.
Yeah, that's criminal.
Here we go. Let's catch this blind though.
I'm actually.
Let's get a look at this blind right here on the corner.
Which path? That whole thing is a tangled mess.
Yeah, this is all a blind. This is just where they sit.
Lay down, you know, they spider crawl out of there.
They're in their translucent state. They'll look just like the tree.
And remember that they can be very little to, they're not all giant. They have the little spiderlings.
There's a lot of giants out there, but a lot of small ones too. They'll just sit right there. Look through the grass. I mean, take the image of the foliage. Will look just like it.
Man, I feel.
See how that is all manipulated through here? Then they sit right back here and right in here.
Sick, I don't know why. I feel real ill in the stomach. It's really weird feeling.
Here's a blind also. Right here. This whole area's got a little skirting here, but they'll be sitting right behind there or right behind this tree.
Here's an example of them. I hope you can see that.
Yeah.
You see that face, almost like a foo dog?
Over here.
Eye. Appearing green, like a reflection of their surroundings. See it in there?
Look right there.
That's the sort of thing we're looking for. Or it may look a murkier. Here's another one. This one is more almost alligator snout.
Yeah.
And it would be 6 foot tall and standing upright. Cindy Emmons. Cindy Lou.
You see this big blind? This is all pushed to the side. It's all skirted there. They're right behind here, or they'll sit right down here at the bottom, especially at night, waiting for people to come out. But that's a good blind.
Right there.
Yeah, looks like some eyes, 2 faces really, maybe even 3. Then you got all these leaders out here. I'm gonna back that up so you can see that blind again.
Man, I feel.
This is a big blind here. You got another one coming up here.
I feel real ill in the stomach.
There's one right there behind there.
Hear what he's saying as he gets to this area?
And then you got one right here. All these are pulled down, manipulated right there.
Can we back up just a little bit?
That's another thing too, you know, when it's raining.
We're gonna back it up.
As soon as he got to that corner area, he started talking about how he's feeling sick and feeling.
Hey guys, I'm actually, man, I feel sick. I don't know why. I feel real ill in the stomach.
We know why.
It's really weird feeling.
This guy may be faking it though. Calling himself a researcher, don't even know what he's looking at.
But it wouldn't surprise me in that area to feel heavy if he didn't have the right
That's another thing too, you know, when it's raining.
armor on.
You got a bow here in the back also.
The Yowies would know there's not going to be anyone out in the rain. Only silly people like me. I don't know, it's just another thought. They might think, well, they know humans don't like getting wet. It's just a thought. Oh, wow, what is wrong? I thought I'm going to pass out, guys. It's really weird, eh? Weirdest feeling ever.
You could be experiencing the
It's right, whatever it
infrasound.
is. It's,
There's one bow and there's two bows, and this one's bent. Looks like it came loose. But you can see these bows right here. And all the bows are not the same size. Some are the size for a mouse, some are the size for a rabbit, some are the size of a deer, a pig, all the
Person
way
on
up to a man
horseback.
on a horse, and all the way up to a car or a truck.
draining on my energy as well.
I'm gonna back that up so you can see those bows when you look through there.
Oh, wow, what is wrong? I feel like I'm going to pass out, guys.
I wonder if he prayed
It's
before he
really
went
weird,
out.
eh? Weirdest feeling ever.
See those bows right there?
It's strange, whatever it is. It's
One
draining on my
there,
energy
one
as well.
there.
I feel like I'm being like zapped or
Background,
something. I don't know.
foreground.
Whoa. That's weird.
Right there.
Maybe that's a good sign. I don't know.
Did you say maybe that's a good sign? He's an atheist. Well, there you go. He doesn't have on the full armor of God. He's talking about his energy's drained and wondering if that's a good sign.
Yeah, that's a blind right all through here. I'm not sure where he's going.
He's not sure where he's going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this tree is in right down
Right
through
over
there.
the water again.
Right where the water is, that's a blind. Look at that boat. Sit right back there and wait.
Cross on the other side. Another blind.
Another blind.
Tops down.
Some big look at prints.
Tree top has been pushed down.
Can't say nothing.
So the bow in the back here.
Definitely a heap more water. That's what I wanted to get. I wanted to get up there and off to the right, probably, I don't know, 200 meters up there where I had the tree fall over. So I'm not going up there today.
This is like a perfect
I don't
place
feel
to sit
well,
there and watch
Sure can.
people. This is all manipulated.
We'll just stop and scan the bush.
You always want to check out what you think are
Ooh, what was
stumps. This one is a stump, but they can also look like a stump.
That's how
Sit
my
out
rock's
there and
getting
hold
off here.
still for hours.
Yeah.
Who it was, it's up that little creek again, where I said I heard the tree. That's what it sounded like, guys. Two rocks being banged together, that sort of noise. I'll go for a walk along here. I might go back there and just sit there. I don't want to attempt to walk up it, it's too slippery.
Just past the bow, but he had.
We were made for Huli. Made
Now, rock clacking can be actual rock clacking, but it can also be vocalizations. Oh, we should have our little. Oh, that's good. That was quick. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We're trying to do the remote in the dark. Escape.
There we go. All right, let's catch it up.
That's what it sounded like. Was that a warning? I was supposed to be listening to the birds too, so it's hard to hear with the water on.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you can't hear anything with that water.
That's what that professor saying. So when he was here, that's what he heard, guys. He heard.
True break.
He heard. He was walking.
Yeah, that's a tree break up there.
Also, this one in the foreground here is
It's right here on the corner. This would be an ambush area. Sitting right there or in here.
Yeah, right where I am now. And he heard the rocks clacking together.
Sits right
He
there.
said, sometimes people make, do little movies and all that down here.
Now we're coming up to another where the path goes here and this one goes down here. So there's going to be another blind here. And this is the one on this side.
But this is actually where it was. So you got down to here. The clacking noise I just heard wasn't here. It's back where I'm showing you.
So we have a blind right here. And these trees are pushed behind these, which is very, I can't think of the word, not useful, but
Great opportunity.
great, I guess.
Great, that's where the noise comes from.
Hear a bird, find a bird.
Spot. Is this where he was?
And this would be where the next blind is, on this side, and there'll be one on this side and over here.
Wow, oh, I swear to God, guys. I
Yeah,
feel like
tree break in the
You
back.
swear to God, you're an atheist and watch your mouth
it's like
also.
something smashing me.
How you swear to something you don't believe in?
I feel like I'm gonna pass. Yeah, I'm not joking. It's like something smashing me.
So he's talking about
It's
a
so
pressure.
intense. So he was here, and when you look up there, up the bit,
This looks like a tree down right here.
he just seen a yowie doing star jumps with like two rocks.
That bridge down there.
Yeah, I got a bridge down
Bridge and a
there.
curve.
And this one up here at the top here.
Truthwalker just sent this.
Then you got the bridge down here. You've got an embankment blind right here to watch everything. Kind of looks like there's some just kind of blurry, but
Yeah, looks like a lot going on in
looks
there.
like there's a lot there.
Thank you, Truthwalker.
But you can see this, there's another blind. And this tree and this horizontal right here, you know, he may think this is a normal thing. I don't know. But you also have an embankment blind right here to watch that road.
And to watch that bridge.
Watch that bridge area.
His hand, banging them together. And then, like, he's a scientist.
Got a big bow over here in the background, kind of going over the river. This would be your blind area.
Especially
He's going, well, nothing like that should exist. And then he made a clicking noise, he said. Like, with his tongue. Like,
a lot going on right there. Definitely.
That's a tree break right there in front of him. You're about to kick it.
And this is two different trees.
And they're kind of weaved behind the other one. Now, how do you not see this, Yowie Chaser? How do you not see this?
Researcher.
Researcher of how many
who's
years?
Feeling sick and looking for evidence.
It's right there in front of you. The evidence is right there in front of you. This is an area used.
Let's see if he notices it.
like that, and the mum jumped down in front to protect it, obviously. Well,
See, this is that where it sits back there, right here on the corner where these roads go over this path in the road. Sits right there behind it.
that's what we can only assume. And he reckons, yep, I'm out of here. See you later. Ran the fastest time he's ever ran.
So right in this
also a
area
runner.
is where somebody saw a
So yeah, it's an
little
interesting
one and a
story.
big one.
And that's what I think I just heard back there. And I don't know what's going on.
We agree.
We agree. We agree on that for sure. You don't know what's going on.
Get your wet
We'll just
socks
keep
off.
on- we'll
They're
just
still
keep on
bothering
here.
you.
Yeah. Affecting your.
Something's here.
It's like another bridge.
We can't tell if that's going across though or laying.
See, this is where he was.
That's a blind where he's walking right up on a blind. This is a blind. They'll sit right here behind it and wait for him, or wait for somebody.
For either side, going on the path or on the creek.
Yep.
Let's go down that way.
Let's go down next to the barn.
You,
Dark
So,
spot right
let's
here.
go down in Eagles.
Have to
As
be
you can see,
worried
look how
about.
deep that is. That's where it would have been.
You got some trees in the background here. I'm not sure what that is right there. Standing there. Let's catch up real fast. Cindy, where's Cindy?
Cindy Lou.
Hi, Cindy. Cindy Lou's here.
She's got when she first came here to visit us, and she's been my friend, probably 30 years, Cindy, if not longer. When she came here, we were telling her about all the things out there, and she had kind of a little smirk on her face, like, really, you really believe that kind of look? And once we took her out all around here, and she's always been in the woods also, but once all she had to be shown was the patterns, and she picked right up on it. She knows now.
She was spotting everything.
Yeah, she knows exactly what to look for.
She knows exactly what to look for.
We can't wait till you come back, Cindy.
Yep. Elastic Machinery says, hi, Bernice. I really enjoyed your part of the Ask an Indian series as to if Bigfoot is a predator. I apologize if I'm mistaking you for someone else, though. Either way, it's a really good three-parter.
Thank you, Elastic Machinery. And that is Tracker B, yes. That is Bernice.
Cubator says,
I've warned this bloke countless times about why he'll be feeling sick in these places. He doesn't listen. Well, there's nothing more you can do then.
Yeah. And Scott's Life says, Cube, it's all good until it isn't.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an atheist. We can tell.
So he did not pray up before he went out there.
Joyce says, Cube, those with ears to hear will listen.
Yeah.
That is true. Scott's Life says,
he feels sick because their eyes are on him and he senses it.
Yeah, you're right. Hoorah for censorship.
Graybeard says teeth clacking too. Yes.
Oh yeah. Good question, Lee Trackery. Yeah. Infrasound and all eyes on him. Oh,
and all eyes are on him. Yes, exactly, both.
Yeah, they're there.
Truthwalker says I see 4 in that screenshot. Yeah, yeah.
Most people they need the book. They're not understanding about the translucency.
And that's the most dangerous.
Yeah, because they can walk right up on them, and
you can go to lean on them and not know they're there.
Jim actually almost leaned up on one time.
Yeah.
And
Cube says yes, he is surrounded on this path, Truthwalker.
Yeah, it's a very busy area, Tracker Lorna says.
Scott says, so very different from how we operate. We are quiet, methodical, slow. He is yakking up a storm by himself and errant. Yes.
He sure is.
Yes.
We would be looking at him going,
you ain't tracking with us again.
Yeah, we just
First
turn
of all,
around.
you ain't going with us with them shoes on.
Yeah. We probably wouldn't even leave the parking lot. We're like, man, we gonna talk. Go ahead by yourself. We ain't going out there. Cubinator says,
Scott's like, this bloke always is yapping, laughing, and swearing while looming for maybe looming for Yowie. Or
now he would. Now if he would really, never mind. I ain't gonna help him with tracks. He would get. He would get eaten.
If he's not listening to Q, who is one of our trackers, he's not gonna listen to us.
Yeah, and I mean, for us to tell him what to do, he would get eaten by what he's doing. So we don't want to help him in any way get eaten.
Hey, Night Stars, thank you.
Thank you, Night Stars. Wow, thank you so
We
much.
appreciate that.
Look at how I don't know how you did the kitten with your. Oh, okay. Now I see equals up, lower space,
but how do you, oh, okay.
up, and then equal sign. All right.
That's a lot of work there, Night Stars.
That is. Cubaner says that's cause you know Bob. That's right. Did Bob say something?
Did we miss a Bob comment?
Oh, wow. But it is way up there. And Track Lawrence saying, thank you, Night Stars. And
yeah,
there's Cindy saying, yep.
Yep. I can hear her saying it too.
Well, she's seen it.
She came up here and she was queen of the mountain. We got the cutest video of her at the top of the world up here.
She took over the mountain.
She says, I love you guys so much. We love you too.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you again. Temporary Aussie, he'll join the list of the missing. Yeah.
Oh, I hope.
We
not.
hope not.
I hope
but
not. But
the way he's going, he's walking right past
hey, maybe
everything.
that would be what would it take to make him pray to a God he doesn't believe in. You'd be surprised how many atheists find the Lord.
Find the Lord whenever that thing pops up in front of them. Okay. We're gonna go a little further with him. Probably not too much further with him because he's doing everything wrong. Can't find anything. There's sign all around this area. I'm even looking at this log back here. There might be a waterway through there.
Well, he literally knows that they're out there. I mean, there's been all kinds of sightings right here.
Yeah, he just talked about that. This guy's walking through here with flip-flops and
going out, see nothing.
Oh my goodness.
Scott says, true, not a lot of deathbed atheists.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Cindy says, hey, I'm fixing to be moving up around Hemp Hill, Texas. Hemp Hill, Texas. Hey, that's closer then.
All right.
Cool. Cube says, apologies, you had to sit through his yapping and blindly looking, but that's okay. That's what we're here for, is to show
point
people
out what they're
see. Missing.
Yeah.
That was in COVID, Easter, in 2020 or 19. And there used to be a big rock in the lobby here. I don't know what happened to that rock. It was massive.
Well, there's a bridge.
He wonders what
I don't
happened
know
to
if that's
that
the
massive
same one.
rock.
I don't know if that's the same one. He's just further down, but that's definitely a bridge. Maybe the same one. So.
Rock.
He's scanning too fast.
Dark spot.
Oh yeah, I better clear something up. So, one of the TV shows from the United Kingdom are filming a show down at Dungar, and they've told the people in the show to watch out for the owls.
Structure right there.
And if they see one.
Yeah, and even though.
And he's going doo 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 doo.
Even though people may have put this there. This is being used as a blind, and they'll be right back here or right behind this tree.
And back behind it is an actual structure with several leaners.
Yeah.
Don't run. Try and stay in pairs. Just over there.
And that's. I'm gonna back it up just a second.
Don't run. Try and stay in pairs.
Because this tree that's pushed over is also a blind underneath it. Oh, it looks like something standing. I mean, just looking at it.
Peeking right there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just over there.
From baseline all the way
I just
up.
watched the interview of the radio station over in England, and they're talking about it. It's funny as.
Did he say he watched an interview on the radio
And when I'm talking
station?
about researchers, right? So I'm not talking about people that are in my
thing.
People that listen to me. I'm talking about these other researchers, not our researchers. So there's 20 researchers that like to bag me out, not to my face, but behind your back.
Well, I'm glad we're not
That was
researchers.
meant for them. Anything I say about anybody's meant for these.
It ain't behind his
certain
back. We're
researchers.
doing it publicly.
Yeah,
They've
we're
been-
doing
they've been doing
worldwide.
it for ages. Well, they know everything apparently, but they've got no proof of anything.
No proof of
Nothing.
anything.
I know he's not.
Pause it.
I know he's not
Sir,
talking
we
about
have
us.
we have no proof that you feel sick out there. Where's your evidence?
Yeah.
Where's your evidence that you feel pressure and you feel sick?
We know he's not talking about us, so because we got videos, pictures, translucents, which I'm gonna go ahead and
Well, also,
put on
there
here.
is a ton of evidence out there, and
Oh,
it gets
yeah.
covered up. It gets collected by the men in black, by the unnamed military.
I'm gonna show a picture or two real fast. This is a translucent. These are the things that we ask people to look for. You can see through them, watery haze look. I'm not sure what page that's on, the translucent viewing.
Translucent viewing is starts on page 111 in the
On
book.
page 111, and here's another one in the tree.
Also, he was talking about the feeling sick. Body's natural warning signs starts on page 114 of the book. He needs a book.
Here's also one in the far background. There's actually two of them next to that tree. And here's actually a Bigfoot in case he wants to see one up close. If you ever watch this, there's a Bigfoot right there. It's in the video. It's moving in the video. This is a still shot from that film.
You see the three little white
It's got like a
circles?
beak. Looks like a beak.
That's where the face is.
Yeah. So actually, I got the clip of that if you want to show it.
Sure.
We're going to show a clip of that still shot. It's only about a minute and 13 seconds, so bear with us.
So he's almost like chewing his cud and
wet
turning.
dog, rotting flesh, blood, mixed with the stink of a tarantula, or rotting snakes, or no scent. The Bigfoot being observed here is herding deer to us. Through observation of humans, the Bigfoot can separate hikers from hunters, weapons or no weapons, a hunter or a hunter of Bigfoots. Trackers observe baseline to tree line first. We use the shadows. We go tree to tree or bush to bush, blending into our environment. The shadows are very important to read. It is called shadow language. Distinguishing shadow upon shadow. If your visual or sense of smell do not pick up the predators, your body is made of feelings and sensors to protect you spiritually and physically. Your feelings and senses will tell you where the predator is located. If the predator is behind you, you will feel the hair on the back of the neck. If the predator is on the right or left, goose pimples, shivers, or wind will be on that same side. To locate the predator, turn towards the place of the first feeling. This is the first alert for warriors that war is here.
Being the lead tracker for the
Two to 3 hours
Uh,
to get that one.
yeah, we had to sit in a tree line for about 2 to 3 hours, 2.5 hours actually, until this thing started moving. Tracker M, who was with me, he wanted to move a little sooner, and I said, hold on, let's see what happens. And then finally it started moving, and was actually able to capture it on film. And now at that same place, the gentleman who we was filming at his place had 12 horses in the beginning. The last time we was there, he only had 4 horses left, and we haven't talked to him about the horses since. It's been about 1.5 years or 2 years. So we're going to go back. Well, we did go back one time, but there was horse droppings for only 1 horse. So we're going to go back whenever we get a chance and see what's happened since then.
And if you see the documentary, the cave that is in the documentary was taken at that same property.
Well, that's on 3 minutes. So let's catch up real fast. Let's go to comments. This is where Sydney's going to move up to Hemp Hill, Texas. And Scott's Life says, true, not a lot of, not a lot of deathbed atheists. That is true. Oh, we did go through that.
Yeah.
Scott's Life. Wow.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
We
wow.
appreciate you.
Sure do. And everybody else is saying thank you too to Scott's Life for that. Cuban says,
I offered to send him your book free of charge, but his response was to laugh. I gave up on him then. There you go.
yeah.
Don't cast your pearls before swine.
Yeah, that's right. Give it to somebody who knows what to look for or who's willing to look for these things. Well, backed it up just a little bit to hear him talk about other researchers who don't have proof, which he doesn't have proof.
He's wanting people to believe that he.
And he's walking by all these blinds, bows, bridges.
And telling stories of a man that didn't have proof, just his words.
I say about anybody who's meant for these certain researchers to be, they're the ones that have been doing this for ages. Well, they know everything apparently, but they've got no proof of anything.
And he won't read the book.
And he won't read the book. Find the proof.
It's the way the Yellow World rolls. It's just the way the Yellow World rolls. So yeah, that wasn't meant to any of my guys.
Well, sir,
I know the guys in my group that are on it. There's some smart people in there.
And he's looking right at it.
Jeez, I still feel weird, eh?
Oh, weird,
So
huh?
I'm getting this weird
Strange.
feeling. I'm not seeing any signs.
Wonder what that is.
What did he just say? What did he just say?
I think he said, I don't see any signs.
I don't
I'm not
see
seeing any signs.
I don't see any signs. He says, I don't
As
see.
he gripes about people that don't know what they're talking
He says,
about.
I don't see any signs. What are you? What?
There's some smart people in there. Jeez, I still feel weird, eh? Why am I getting this weird feeling?
Oh my
Not seeing any
goodness.
signs.
Not seeing any signs.
Why am I getting these weird feelings? I don't see any signs. What?
Jeez, I still feel weird, eh?
Hey, why are you saying
Why am I getting
jeez?
this weird feeling? Not seeing any signs.
Oh my goodness. He don't see any signs. What number are we on? 12 minutes? I'm trying to this is awful. Awful. This guy's just, oh my goodness. He calls himself a researcher, but he don't even know what he's looking for
He don't know
or
enough
what
to take
he's even looking at.
his socks off before wading through water.
He don't even know what to take his socks off before he goes through the water.
It ain't like he had complicated shoes on. It would take a long time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You have to be careful around any of those logs like that for anything that might be lying on the backside.
I'll tell you what, if I hear rock clacking, and it's up that
That's a
tree,
blind.
these hiking thongs will be going up.
Now that
there.
is still a bridge, and that's an embankment blind. That's another embankment blind. Oh my goodness, where's this guy going? Yeah, it actually looks like one leaning over.
And sometimes there's tunnels all the way back up in under there that
Yeah.
you just
Yeah,
don't
he's
even
actually like
know.
a big one right there standing. And
That's-
it's translucent look.
The man with the missing horses, that's the way it was along his creek bed.
Yeah. So there's plenty of sun.
And you
all
notice it's
over
at a
the
bend
place.
again in the creek and
Right there where
a bend in the
my
path.
Goodness, this guy.
I assure you.
I think you went far enough.
What did he say? He'll assure us of what?
I don't know, what's back there? I didn't hear that.
The creek, these hiking thongs will be going up there. Sure
Hydro
is. And he got nothing in, huh?
Got some pull downs and bows right here in the back.
Ooh,
So the way down the creek.
That's an old bridge.
right there.
Right there.
How can you not see
Right
that?
there.
We might go back. I want to go back where I heard the clacking. Let's go back to
What
the
do you mean
clacking.
you heard clacking? How do
This
we
tree
know? Where's
break
your
right here?
evidence, sir?
See that big tree break, sir? Whoever you are. Your trees are bowing. What are you doing?
He is clack-a-lacking.
Lack.
Here's something else I just thought of as I'm walking. And I thought, you know what? I've never seen sticks in the ground out here. And that's because the ground is too hard for them.
For what? For Bigfoot?
So obviously, it's raining today. You think the ground would be soft enough, but this ground's hard. Very, very hard. And there's no sticks in the ground, and there's lots of
Not a one.
lots of reports of yowies out of here. I'd say this place is going to become very popular. Very, very popular.
And this guy's saying that the ground is too hard for the Bigfoots to tunnel.
They
Not to mention that they use tools, but their claws, the power, the hands, the rocks,
strength.
the strength of them. They go through rock, they go through.
And what made him say that though about sticks in the ground? He must have heard somebody talking about sticks in the ground.
Yeah, he said something.
But he don't recognize them. But I haven't seen him wiggle the first stick he sees.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these things that people might assume are, and we tell you to watch for that around the creeks and the waterways. Wiggle some of those sticks that are just sticking up out of the ground, because a lot of times they're sharpened on the end in the ground, and those are spears for hunting, for gigging frogs and gigging fish and
Yeah.
gigging humans.
Scott Slough says he is one scare from stopping this nonsense. Yeah.
If he makes it.
And Graybeard says he complaining about you. That'd be something if he was.
He may be.
He may be.
But
Laugh out loud.
you know.
And he says, far out looking
With eyes firmly shut.
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Tree walkers laughing.
Lord, she
Lorna
said,
said like a monkey.
Like a
Like
monkey.
like a blind monkey.
like a blind monkey.
Night Star says LTE and Jerry laughing at this dude.
Yeah,
I
this
think
is
we're all
crazy.
laughing.
Yeah, this guy's crazy.
Cube says some of his complaints are against me, mostly Stet and Yowie Dan and Gary Lynn. Absolutely despise him loudly.
Oh, we don't know them, but if just we knowing you knows that these guys are not people we want to look up.
And we know that you've done your very best to try to warn and teach.
Mm-hmm.
Some people ain't worth teaching.
And Elastic Jr. says he wouldn't know a smart person if he showed him the equation to real
For relativity.
wearing socks in his trees.
Oil, wild. Like he had no choice.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, I know. It's just right there in front of him. Joyce says, I hope this guy doesn't drive. He's blind. He sure is.
Night Star's laughing at Elastic Machinery. Cube says he does drive a beat up GMH Commodore wagon.
Oh, wow. Whatever that is. Commodore wagon.
Like a station wagon, I guess, or something.
Like a Jeep station wagon or something.
I don't know.
She says, Night Star says, no wonder it's beat up. Yeah, this guy's probably running into everything. I didn't see no embankment. I didn't see no.
I didn't see that road sign.
I didn't see that road sign, that tree, that bush, that rock. Joyce says, well, Cube, you know, not to get in his vehicle.
You're right. I don't think Cube would be invited.
Yeah.
Cindy said he's nuts. She always gets straight to the point. Cube says, I try. Thank you, Jerry and Ella. Yeah.
Oh, man, this guy, hey.
It's going to be hard to get a spot here soon, I think. So just up through there's a dam. So obviously you don't see water running out of that much. Probably heard a noise then actually.
Yeah. So watch that right there. Looking over the grass.
I haven't seen him aim up or get down low one
That
time.
was weird. Normally when I pull up, he comes over to the car. Today he just stayed on his little mound, and then when he seen me, he walked off into the bush.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's weird. Normally he comes straight over.
He's kind of going back the same way.
He got spooked at that one area where it started getting more dense.
Yeah.
This Giving Tuesday, make a like segment.
It says stay alert.
It says stay alert right there.
Two trees been over there and broken off.
Oh, they fell.
One's pushed over, one's broken.
You did notice on the way back.
Broken. All right.
What pushed it over?
But he's probably thinking that was the hurricane that came through yesterday. Maybe it was a tornado.
Yep, still wet.
Still wet. Cross it.
Man, this
Looks like
is a
something's been going through here.
boring walk.
Yeah. Don't get off the trail. Researcher.
You know, it looks like something. Oh, I'm getting smashed today. You've got no idea.
Getting smashed.
This is crazy.
Pressure, I guess.
A little bit of pressure there.
Huh.
Huh.
Weird.
You got a sign all over you, even though he says, I don't see any sign. And he's back at that spot again.
It's awful misty to be up there.
Yep. A dark spot out there watching.
We already pointed all the stuff out in this area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does he say anything else?
We'll fast forward just a
Now he's off trail.
But you're still not going to find any prints there because they're not going to go where the humans go. You got to find a spot where they're not going to, where you can't cross is where they're going to cross. And you're not going to find the footprints because they're going to jump over it.
Oh, they could jump over that easy.
I might just sit here for a while. See what
It's been a long, arduous walk.
He's been walking for too long, I guess. And
Blazing
there,
a new trail.
there you got another one. Right there. Come on now. Come on.
And a boat, I think.
Yeah, possible. Oh, come on.
Yeah, guys, we might end that one. I might
He's
just sit
wrapping it
here for a
up.
while.
We might be wrapping it up, he said. Yeah, you got about a minute left.
See that tree? Look at that. See that log going across that? I mean, see how there's a clean bit?
Yeah,
This one right
See
here,
how high the water
right
is?
there.
that's how high the water
And it
was.
just clears all the bark off the log. So I'd like to see that much water in it.
Well, then you would have all
Where's
this
Where's the
tore
evidence,
up.
sir?
Even though that's dark, you would have had this whole area torn
No,
up.
I'm going to find somebody that's sick.
It doesn't just flood in one
He's
spot.
crossing
Really got
over
no
them
energy
and knocking the
whatsoever.
bark off.
And to see if I hear anything that sounds like a rock bar, because that's what it sounded like before. I wonder if I took my hiking thongs off. Let's see if we take the hiking thongs off. If you just have socks on.
Hiking thongs
Ah,
or
I
Nike
cannot believe he's been walking in
socks on.
wet socks
It
and
probably wouldn't make
thongs
much
all
noise,
this
eh?
time.
You know, like that.
Let's give it a go.
Not enough sense to come out of the rain. Not enough
This
sense to come out of your socks.
Oh,
Geez,
God.
that's be onto something here.
And that's just come out of your
It's not
socks.
too bad to walk on the rocks. Probably wouldn't want to step on something sharp little stick. These are only thin socks.
He said he's going
That
to
seems
invent.
right.
He said he's going to invent a new style of tracking shoes, which is socks.
Two pair of socks.
2 pair of socks. That's
That'll
his,
help you with snakes and sticks and sharp stones.
That's his new idea. His
Man's
what
a
his
genius.
conclusion.
I think you can walk around. You might get some thick socks and start walking around with no shoes.
There you go.
We'll go sock.
Or
No, neither hiking thongs.
You don't want to actually find
Featherfoot.
a yowie and then
Maybe
take
sock
off
foot.
running
Oh, sock foot.
in
Now
sock
start
foot.
another new trend. I'll be hearing soon.
you, sir, will not be
Always
starting
hiking
any
socks.
trends.
No trends for you.
I'll bet you any money.
No
Oh,
sock
yeah.
foots.
Oh, look, there's a footprint. Oh, there's been a yowie here. Yowie chaser.
Oh, now he's mocking people.
All right, I'm gonna just end this, guys. Wait and see if we hear anything. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
Oh, good. He's
You guys
done.
have to check out these pants.
He is done.
We'll catch up on comments and then we'll go to the
We'll go to the next.
we're
Let me load
the
that.
extra little surprise. Good time for a restroom break. If anybody needs one, which is myself, I'll be right back.
Okay. Cubaner says, or Scott Slav says, Cube, does he ever go off a trail? Cubaner says, I've seen a couple of his videos doing just that, Scott, but he is swearing, so I wouldn't recommend those, but only 2 minutes off trail. Yeah, that figures. He got back to audacious for us to watch and hear him. Yeah. Diesel says, flip flop fishful.
You said what?
Flip flops push PSH fishful. And great seeing you, Diesel.
Hey, Diesel. Hand me your cup and I'll refill it.
Cubator says, wet socks and thongs and
And it looks like it might be.
looking for yowies, predators. No idea.
It's okay though, because the yowies will say, no, we don't want him in the gene pool.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Kane, or Diesel says, Kane has a sock shoe thing. The Truthwalker said, look at those vines hanging like snares. Yeah, they can snare people up. Even take off a head. Everybody saying hi to Diesel. And then Elastic Machiner says, there's already a trend. He's joining, or he's trying to join.
And we are picking on
Listen
him a little hard.
411.
Huh? Yeah.
He says,
We are picking on him a little harder than others just because no, we're not.
so there's already a trend that he's trying to join, and that's the missing 411.
We're just thinking he's giving Cube a hard time.
No, I don't think he's giving Cube a hard time. Cube's the one that's just.
Oh, I can't.
He's got a good heart to try to help these people.
He sure does. Yeah, especially somebody like that.
Now we want to listen to this person Joe Rogan. I think everybody knows about this guy. He's a goofy guy that talks, has interviews with people, but
He's trying to learn. He does try to learn.
does he? To me, it looks like he doesn't try to learn. Like he's just trying to make fun of things. He may be one of those comedian people, but I don't know. But let's go ahead and listen to a little bit about this, and then we're going to show you and tell you exactly what's going on. While the world's best, the linguists and all them, the doctors, whatever, all this that they're interpreting what they think they know, but they don't know anything. So let's give them a listen real fast.
They don't know what they think they know.
They don't know what they think they know.
R. Scott Nelson, a language expert, and he thinks that some of the recordings attributed to Bigfoot are not only real, but that Bigfoot is speaking in a very complex language, much like humans do. Play us some of what you heard that freaked you out.
You hear the snarls and the growls in between the articulations?
Yeah.
Giggle, whoop, me watch food, plain food.
Say it.
So he actually got a sentence out of that somehow. And this guy, Joe, is either, how can you say it?
I'm not sure what you're going to say.
Oh, that he's gullible, I guess you would say, to what the linguist, to the professional, what a professional would say.
He called in somebody that he thought would tell him correctly.
So let's back that up just a hair and give him another shot.
You hear the snarls and growls in between the articulations?
Yeah.
Giggle, whoop, me watch food, plain food.
Play the foot ball.
This is very clearly a complex language.
It sounds very...
So very clearly a complex language. These things don't have a language. They can mimic a word, they can say a name, they can do small 2 or 3 word kind of things. They don't have a language. These things are not human. They don't have a human language. But these linguists, these professionals, these scientists, even Ron Moorhead is trying to humanize these creatures, these predators, but they are not us and they do not have a language.
Similar to like chimpanzee chat. Chimps going crazy.
Right, except until you slow it down, and chimpanzee cannot say giggle, whoop, me watch food, plain food. They don't have the ability to articulate those sounds. What I'm going to play here.
What did he say it said? He said, me watching some good playing eagle food up in the trees on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. Pay-per-view.
It's almost as bad in a different way as that psychic the other night.
Oh my goodness.
Said a symbol told her 3 paragraphs.
Oh my goodness. But this professional linguist has just said that these predator Bigfoots who have no language is saying that this, to meet him at Fridays on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. It's just something of what he's trying to put together. And this is a professional linguist.
You cannot say giggle, whoop, me watch food, plain food. They don't have the ability to articulate those sounds. What I'm going to play here, this is the Sasquatch, right? Okay. Over here is a human being trying to mimic the Sasquatch. Okay. Well, that's the human. That's the human trying to mimic.
I just have to tell you, my meter's going off the charts here with this. You're saying that sound could not be made by a human?
No.
I just did
it. He is funny. I guess he's a professional comedian too, even with his facial gestures. But he is correct. He goes, "What do you mean a human can't make that? A human can make that sound. The only thing that they're missing is the snarl and the intake of air to add to that, because the Bigfoots, when they mimic, there's an intake or there's a growl, and it's all mixed in as one.
And they have a lot greater vocal and a lot greater volume to their lungs.
Yeah.
The Bigfoot do.
Charts here with us. You're saying that that sound could not be made by a human?
No.
Could you
I just did it. There you go. That sounds like a bad kung.
Now they can mimic what they hear us say, but only in very, very, very short sentences, not long like what this guy said. Like ear, kitty, kitty, something like that. Just a few words, but not a whole big sentence that would make sense. If they were to say friend good, they mean friend.
Tastes good.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they say my friend, they're saying you belong to me. That's my meal.
But
And-
there's no big complex language.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Charts here with us. You're saying that that sound could not be made by a human?
No.
I just did it. There you go. That sounds like a bad kung fu movie. You can even hear the kung fu sounds. You hear that? That's a kung fu movie. That's a kung fu movie someone's playing in the woods.
Nope.
No?
Let me tell you something that will convince you.
Oh, good luck.
See right there, that's the language.
Well, that's
Don't get my Imani wash. Is that what he said? Whatever he's saying, this guy is supposedly a professional linguist. And we're going to hear from another one in just a second. But these are the people who are giving the information out, who are getting paid to do this. And they're guessing, they're grasping, they're giving their opinion, but they don't know. And we'll explain what they don't know in just a moment.
definitely sounds more like an animal.
There's no animal on the face of the earth that can say Bananu Wa'a Nagibash.
Like half.
That one didn't say that. That creature didn't say.
You attribute both of those sounds to the same animal.
Not
They're
even
wildly different.
Well, whether they're the same animal or not, they both have language.
They don't have a language. They will mimic a language. Like they'll call a child by the name. They'll call the dog. They will mimic. They will sound like an airplane, a chainsaw, a car beeper, a radio.
No difference to them.
Any kind of animal. I mean, any kind of insect, a cricket, a locust.
It's not the same as like, will you marry me? And that's what they mean. Will you marry me? You know
These
what I mean?
things.
You could be holding up food to them and saying, I'm going to shoot you. And they would think that you were trying to hand them food.
Yeah. They don't bake cakes. They don't grow gardens. They will raid gardens and they will accept food from gardens when people try to appease them. But they don't bake cakes. They can't read. They can't tell you the ingredients that goes into a cake. These are predators.
Animal, they're wildly different.
Well, whether they're the same animal or not, they both have language.
Some of that Bigfoot language sounded ridiculously fake, but some of it sounded really freaky and weird. And we're talking to a guy like R. Scott Nelson, a crypto linguist who really understands language, and he's convinced they're actually saying something. It makes you think.
So now we want to get back to let me see if I can use that to get back. Well, I'm gonna have to Now I'm gonna have to load it again. Wouldn't let me go back. It'll just take a second. We can catch up on
video.
yeah, comments. Everybody's talking about the
I'm not
DMT.
sure where were we?
I don't know if it was it DMT or was it our
Ayahuasca.
ayahuasca.
Where did we let off on the comments?
We need to cover that. Here, I'll do that. He's saying Joe Rogan promotes demon in a fursuit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to this too. Okay.
We ready?
No.
Well, it didn't matter.
Okay. Graybeard saying exactly, Scott. Yeah. Graybeard is also saying Rogan promotes DMT and that the moon landing happened. So who cares what he says or thinks? Yeah.
DMT, for those that don't know, because I just had to look it up. So it's a hallucinogenic.
Yeah. That's also DMT is also the synthetic to ayahuasca.
Okay.
So, and I remember a guy gave it to a young person one time, and he went a little crazy, and he got into a lot of trouble for doing that.
Night Star says, yeah, Rogan likes his drugs.
He seems to be.
Hopefully this is older and he's easing off of all that.
Yeah.
Cube says, I try to do everything in Jesus' name, Night Stars. With these so-called researchers, I'm better off talking to a red brick wall for all the sense I get from these self-styled experts.
Yeah.
Night Star says, I do like how he isn't afraid to point out stuff.
Okay.
Cube says, didn't know Joe Rogan was into DMT. Graybeard says, yeah, he talks about the machine elves sometimes. Elastic Machinery says he got into Rogan's DMT before the segment recording.
I'm sure.
Night Star says you always see an entity with DMT. Wasn't it used to map the subconscious? That does not surprise us because it opens up those gateways. Cube says Night Star is not sure of that. Was that also LSD? Yes.
But DMT,
LSD for sure.
Oh yeah, DMT. I don't even know if it maps the subconscious.
Night Star says, which is too vast to do. I think, yeah, we don't need to be having our mind expanded like that. Night Star says, same thing, Jerry. Okay, yeah, the chemical compound.
The synthetic from the plant.
Elastic Machinery says, yes, ayahuasca and DMT.
Okay.
Night Star says, that's the psychoactive chemical in ayahuasca. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Graybeard says they tried to study using intravenous DMT at a college. Not sure what came of it. Nothing good, I'm sure.
Nothing good, I'm sure.
Okay.
Let's listen to this guy. Just let's listen to him for a little bit and just listen to what he's saying, because these are supposed to be the professional people.
Linguistic.
And then afterwards, we're going to tell you what's really going on.
Scott Nelson, crypto linguist, United States Navy, retired. Oh.
Navy as a crypto linguist, a translator of Russian, Spanish, and Persian. And that's how I kind of fell into this study. After I retired from the Navy, I spent actually 25 years teaching those same languages. It was a holiday when we who taught at a military academy had to be at work. So we didn't get the day off, but my son did get his public school day off. So he came to work with me that day. And we had a moment right after school.
We create vision and the X tool S.
Hold on. We won't make you look at commercials. Was that a little clover on the? I wasn't sure. He does look like a little leprechaun. Can't I help but notice?
That where he had a project for school that he had to do, and it was he had to write a paper on a subject of his choice. And of course, he says, like all 12-year-old boys, right? He says he wanted to do it on Bigfoot, the UFO, or the Loch Ness Monster, right? And I said, well, then make a choice. He said, okay, Bigfoot. So we started Googling Bigfoot. This was 2008. So we're Googling Bigfoot, and he says, Dad, what do you think Bigfoot sounds like? I said, and I just remembered some B-grade movie from the 70s. I just go, oh, he said, Dad, that's not what Bigfoot sounds like. I said, well, let's Google it. Google was new to me at the time. So I said, why not? So we Googled it, and it immediately brought me up to a website that had Ron's Sierra sounds on it. And I played it. I clicked on it, and I immediately knew. I could hear it. And I was stunned. So I played it over again, and it was just a 3-second clip. I played it over again, and over. And my son said, Dad, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? I said, son, there's a language here.
What?
And all these videos are fair use for educational purposes only.
This is not a language that he's listening to, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But remember, these are the professional linguist people. He's a cryptid linguist. The other one was a professional linguist also. They're all wrong. Every one of them. Let's listen to him a little bit more.
And that is not a human being. He said, what? What are you talking about? It's got to be fake. I said, no, that's not fake. I can tell. I said, how do you know? I said, we need to slow it down like Dad used to do in the Navy. And after quite a bit of detective work and with some help I got in touch with some other researchers that put me in touch with Ron. I knew about him. I think I even had seen one of my dad's old Argosy magazine. I had an article on or something like that, but it was interesting, but I was not into it. I grew up in the Rocky Mountains next to the largest Indian school in the nation, the Intermountain Indian School. So I had a lot of Indian friends. And they, so I grew up hearing stories. The Indians all had stories about this, but I just thought it was, wives' tales and stuff like that. So I knew about the concept of it, but I didn't have any real interest in it. So I didn't believe it was real. Me and Ron have done since the beginning, we have solicited the input of any recordings to listen to. So I've received hundreds of little audio clips. None of it meets the standards of the Barry Moorhead tapes. A couple of them, but they're so short. A couple of morphine.
And they are short, but they can mimic exactly what's going on.
As long as it's not too complicated.
Yep. But this guy, he's still not able to put this together.
So they can copy the sound just like a crow can copy a sound, or a parrot can copy a sound.
Yeah, just like a raven. But Ron Moorhead and this guy and the linguist, other guy, they're trying to humanize. They're trying to make it seem like this is a human, a caveman, or a hybrid human, or something like that. But this is a predator. It's got a spider DNA. It's got multiple DNAs in it. It's intertwined. It has bits and pieces of human DNA in it. And that's through the ingestion of eating humans. But they're trying to humanize this thing to fool the entire world.
Strange, and they're gone, but nothing of the quality. There seems to be little bits from all kinds of languages. Here's what has happened is, of course, one of the things I did is play the tapes for native speakers of anyone that was willing to listen to them.
We had a friend send us a recording one time, and they said it sounded Cherokee. It was actually a Cherokee who sent it to us to see if it was Choctaw. And we said, no, this is a mimic of them hearing something else. Now, it may have mimicked an Indian, but it's not an Indian language. It was mimicking. And I said, well, do you have any more of it? He said, no, it's just a repeat of the same thing. I said, exactly. That's all the information that they had that they're mimicking. But they repeated it and repeated it. It wasn't a sentence. It wasn't talking to something else. It was just practicing that mimic. And this guy's probably gonna say something to the sort.
And every single person I ever played it for, including myself, right, could pick up little things that they thought was part of their native language, or maybe even a
kind of like that one linguist, earlier that thought he was saying a whole conversation, but he was, trying to make it fit.
Yeah, like the other guy saying, it's saying the Buku Ragu Baton is going to be at 2:00 on pay-per-view, and so the guy who sent us that recording saying, is it Choctaw? Is it having Choctaw? I said, no, this thing is mimicking whoever it was around, and we kind of lowered it a little bit, and it was saying someone's name. It wasn't saying an Indian language. And that come from Texas, and that Texas person was telling everybody it's speaking a native language, or it's speaking an Asian language.
Or
and I'm going, how do you get an Asian with a Cherokee sound and a Choctaw sound? It didn't have that at all. None of it did. Now, anything that you listen to, you can kind of, if you want to, you can put any kind of word into whatever you hear. If you even just hear something that says googly googly, you could say, well, I heard the L in there.
Yeah.
I heard the law.
I heard Google that.
I heard the ghoul. That could have been a ghoul, and they're trying to
make it
fit. But these things don't have a language. They have a mimic, like a mimic language, and they communicate more with signs, hand symbols, grunts, whoops, knocks, mind speak. And when they get into mind speak, they can get into your head, and they can formulate pictures and kind of words that people will understand, like friend good, or
very limited.
Very limited.
If
just
you were
like
like have a recipe and you say, now you put in the egg, but you threw a shoe into the bowl. Or if you would say, now you put in a shoe and you threw an egg into the bowl, they wouldn't know
the difference.
Yeah.
Let's catch up real fast. Yes, drugs are bad. And Night Star says, Graybeard, let's get married and have a honeymoon in
Indiana. I think she's got a movie quote there.
Oh,
India.
India.
I bet it's a movie quote. Cube says the predators mimic language. Demons can know language and use it to deceive. Yes.
Sure can.
Yes.
He said researchers, he calls them. And he kind of said it in a shaking his head kind of way also.
Well, I couldn't help but notice too that he talked about growing up around the Indian school, and he would hear the stories and he dismissed them because he just didn't care really. Or what did he say? I didn't.
It really wasn't his thing, really.
Yeah.
And he didn't believe in them anyway.
But now he's taking this back to him. Now all of a sudden he wants to know what.
Now he wants to talk to the Indians. And then they're saying, well, it said Ga, it said La. That is in our language, but
Joyce says,
and once the Indians say, well, La is in our language, he's gonna run with that.
Yeah, and another white person will write a book.
Another one will write a book about it. The Indians said that this law word and the goo is a language. No.
We'll go on forever.
That rumor will go on forever, and he will say, well, the Indians said, and I hope he don't say that, but he may say that the Indians said, well, actually he did, didn't he? He said, the Indians said,
pick up a little bit of the words.
Yeah.
But just bits and pieces, which is exactly what we're saying.
Exactly what we're saying.
Joyce says, I think these guys just want to be famous. The first man to translate Bigfoot language. Yeah, they want to humanize him.
Yeah, and they won't do that because it doesn't have a language.
Scott says, sure, try to reason with evil. Outcome is you wasted a lot of time and ultimately you are food. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Truthwalker says, wait, these things have a language, but the only example of this language is the Sierra sounds.
Exactly.
We also have a, and we lost it, that we got to get somebody to pull it out for us again. Actually, maybe Elastic Machinery would be able to do that.
We may be able to find it too.
We have some gibberish also on, and that's what it is.
But it sounds demonic.
It does. It's awful. We prayed up and asked our trackers to pray up before listening to it.
Some of our trackers were in that.
Older warrior.
We're in that meeting.
Yeah.
So
but we've lost the, where it was cleaned up and you could hear it better, where you removed the other sounds and. But anyway, we'll have to try to get that again. So
this guy is basically just now about to say, or he did, that the Indians said that this is a language.
Or maybe even a part of an ancient language.
Maybe.
Like, for instance, one of the first guys I played it for was my close friend Jerry Masuda. He was a native Japanese speaker. And the reason he was the first guy to heard it, he heard it the same afternoon I heard it. I took it right up to him because it was called on his website Samurai Chatter. So I said, hey, I want to let my Japanese buddy hear this, right? He says, oh my God, Scott. He said, that sounds like an ancient form of Japanese, but
he goes, but it sounds like an ancient form of Japanese, but
which one in what words?
Yeah. So he's taking it around. He's going to get a bit of here Japanese. He's going to get a bit of Cherokee, maybe a bit of Anishinaabe up in those areas, if that's where they're at, further up.
Yeah, plus
some
Ojibwe.
Yeah.
Tourists that are out in the woods wandering around.
So they're all trying to put all this together. He's going person to person. And he's supposed to be this cryptid linguist professional.
Yeah.
Who worked for
right.
He's going around reaching all over the place.
He says, oh my God, Scott. He said, that sounds like an ancient form of Japanese, but I can't understand a single word. But
sorry, I had coffee in my mouth. I almost spit it everywhere. Oh my goodness. That would have been embarrassing to see all that coffee going all over the TV. But I can't understand. Wait a minute, aren't you Japanese? Aren't you a linguist? Aren't you yeah, but I can't understand it. Wait, what? But it sounds like what?
Might be, could be, possibly.
Be. Oh my goodness. And they're running with this. So even though this guy says it could be that, and then he says, but I can't understand a word of it, he's going to run with it. I guarantee you.
He says, oh my God, Scott. he said, that sounds like an ancient form of Japanese, but I can't understand a single word. But it was the staccato, the,
the guttural,
the diaphragmatic staccato. If you remember the old samurai movies, how
that Joe Rogan did.
used to speak. Oh, yeah. That's what it's.
He should watch Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan does it better than this
Yeah,
guy.
did a good job.
Joe Rogan had it down a little bit better than this guy. This guy's a professional linguist. He's a cryptolinguist. Oh my goodness, this guy. Come on, you're reaching way too far.
How the old samurais used to speak. Oh, yeah. That's what it sounded like to him. The problem is that every single person I've ever played it for, Persians, Russians, Spanish,
They all think they heard something.
they all hear something.
I knew he was going to say
that
that.
sounds like their own language. Native American.
Okay, I spilt water on myself.
The Native Americans too.
I had water in my mouth and I just spilt it on myself because what this guy said. And we just talked about that. So now this guy's back to the Indians. Now he's asked everyone in the world, and he goes, well, I've heard the law, heard the goo. Yeah, and I heard the so it kind of sounds like that word, because we do have the word la
in every language.
In every language, so
certain sounds.
Yeah.
We make.
Let's back it up because I want to hear what he says about when he took it back to the Indians.
Here's something that sounds like their own language. Native American speakers. But the problem with that is we get into the, pareidolia, whatever, this thing where humans have a natural need to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense.
That's our point.
Isn't that what you're doing?
That's our point. That's exactly it. And I didn't know that sounds have pareidolia also.
He does. This guy is reaching
He
so
doesn't understand
far.
the irony of what you just said.
He doesn't. Oh my goodness, this guy.
Whatever, this thing where humans have a natural need to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense.
Like what you're doing.
So if I was to play these for you, you probably would have, every English speaker I've ever played them for has said, oh my God, he's saying this, he's saying that. No.
Just like that other guy.
Yeah.
The other linguist. The other linguist gave him a whole sentence and said, meet me at Benihana's on Tuesday.
But only if you're paying.
But only if you're paying, he said. And now this guy's trying to do the same thing.
And we don't know what they're saying, but it sounds like they're saying things.
But it sounds like they're saying things. Yes, they are using, that is a sound, yeah. And we're not disagreeing that it's not a Bigfoot making these sounds.
That it sounds like they're saying things.
Or that it sounds like they're saying things. We agree with it. It does.
We'll
it's mimicking. It's mimicking. And we'll explain that in just a minute when we get through this guy.
With this little leprechaun.
It's like, oh my God, he's saying this, he's saying that. No, we don't know what they're saying, but it sounds like they're saying things. It would be impossible to fake something like this. Besides the fact that the tapes have been studied by scientists that have proved that they are, that they weren't doctored up, they weren't faked.
And again, we're not saying
that they're doctored
or fake.
Yeah, yeah.
We're saying y'all don't understand what's going on and what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're trying to humanize them. You're trying to give them a language.
You're pareidoian.
You're pareidoian language encrypted person.
Crypticon.
There wasn't a bunch of Marines up there on duty, trying to scare some hunters, like what Al Berry had believed for a long time. It's not anything like that. And by the way, the reason that I would know is
Namaste.
because I was trained in the very
Namaste.
best techniques of deception, communications deception. The Russians were the best in the world, better than us even. My point being that nobody could have, if the Russians couldn't do it, nobody could. I'm not a sound specialist, so all I can do in that sense is tell you that they do speak with much a higher frequency than a human is capable of, and much lower, way lower.
More bass.
And they have multiple DNAs, so they have multiple vocal cords, multiple hearts, 2 hearts at least, multiple. There's multiple airways. Like the serpent has the airway going down the left side of the neck. They would have that.
Which leads me to believe that they might actually be able to communicate in frequencies that we don't hear.
Fish DNA, bird DNA can do that. You gotta understand, these things have multiple DNAs.
And the animals that can do infrasound.
Yeah, like the fish, they can use the infrasound. The birds, they can use it. Whatever the bird, the fish, the serpent, the mammals, the spider, whatever they can do, these things have that DNA to do that. So that infrasound that can get people disorientated, like a orca or like a whale, or can disorientate other fish, bats, sonar, everything like that. They can do that.
Because what we do here is we hear the frequencies dropping off, and after that we don't hear it anymore. So we don't know where it is. Some of it. And the same in going into the higher frequencies. There are many, many reasons that we know it is a language. I can give you.
Okay, go ahead and give us a couple. Because you're telling us this is a language, and you're the professional. So let's hear your
what's up. What's up?
Let's hear your what's up.
There are many, many reasons that we know it is a language. I can give you the linguistic reasons. Okay, it virtually has, the Barry Moorhead tapes virtually have every element and characteristic of language in them. Conversational terms in which one creature is speaking to the other, and the other.
Yeah, and we don't disagree with that. But also, we'll get to that in just a minute. We'll get to that in just a minute.
Conversational terms in which one creature is speaking to the other, and the other answers. Okay, morphemes, what we would call syllables or words, repeated in both the inquiry and the response.
Stop trying to convince us with your hand casting, sir.
Interrogative, query. Oh,
why won't you say mimic? Why won't you say? He
doesn't understand. He thinks they're really talking in a language.
Why won't he say this sounds like a mimic of this and a mimic
sounds
of
like
that?
They're copying.
Sounds like they're copying the language.
And response. Okay. Interrogative, query. Oh, it's inflection. It's all there. It's all human. It's all.
And we're not saying that they're not mimicking a human sound.
We're saying
these guys don't know what they're listening to.
That's not the same as having their own language.
And it's not the same as them having their own language. Good way to put that.
Query. Oh, it's inflection. It's all there. It's all human. It's all
human-like.
It's exactly like human inflection.
Man-like.
Exactly like
they do it the same way we do, right? In other words, a question sounds like a question. Okay, the interrogative inflect.
Kind of like when somebody mimics someone who made a question. Okay.
And then the response inflection from the other creature. Okay, so and then we got.
Sports and activities make nights so busy, and some.
Gonna back up just a hair.
So, and then we got, imperative inflection, where the creature is commanding or making a demand.
Yeah.
The imperative, we've
Yeah.
got the
As if they've heard that.
declarative inflection,
Yeah.
which is just a statement, very clear statement, and you might make 2 or 3 of them in a row, and then almost stop, like you could almost see a period there, of course. But they wouldn't have it. I don't like that. Emotion. Both, and we have almost 90 minutes of this, right? So in that, there are almost every emotion expressed by these creatures. Anger, certainly. Anger, frustration.
Pay attention to that part.
Pay attention to that.
There's actually a place there that I believe the big one kind of tells a joke and then laughs at himself.
Nope. You're missing it.
So, and then the articulation of it, the articulation of the phonemes are virtually the same as humans.
Virtually the same, but not the same.
They make the same sounds that we do with about.
They make the same sounds as we do. If you mimic somebody, you're going to sound exactly like them. If you're going to mimic
or close, depending on how well you can mimic
a bird.
Yeah. That doesn't, okay, Jerry's doing that, but it doesn't mean that Jerry's a bird or that Jerry understands what the bird is saying when they do that.
I'm not a bird. I don't know what that would do to a bird as far as trying to communicate. I'm just mimicking what the bird is saying or what the bird is chirping. And that's all I know. I don't know bird language as far as writing a sentence to a bird. But this guy, let's listen to it a little bit more.
Or virtually the same as humans.
Virtually. Kind of like. Similar.
They make the same sounds that we do with about 6 or 7 extra ones.
Yes.
The growl, the breath. And we'll get to that in just a moment also.
They make the same sounds that we do with about 6 or 7 extra ones that I've never heard a human make in any language. That's how I know it's a language. And any
that's how he knows it's a language.
Expert that's actually sat down with me.
So if we go he would say that's a language. Or if like a lion would roar, they would say, I'm going to meet you at Benihana's at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
The animals don't have their own, they have their own way of communicating, but they don't have a language like us.
And listen to it, including the top researchers who don't believe that they have language. They cannot dispute. I've never had one person who's listened to it dispute.
You haven't talked to us. Because we would have told you exactly what's going on. And we will in just a second.
Watched your little leprechaun face light up.
And your little leprechaun face would have been like, wow, that makes sense. Yeah, it does, because that's what it is. And we'll get to that in just a moment.
They cannot dispute. I've never had one person who's listened to it dispute that it has to be a language. You begin to hear it. You don't have to be a PhD linguistic specialist to hear the language in it. Once it gets slowed down and you get it pointed out to you, the more you listen to it, layman
somebody tells you what it is.
Whenever I present it.
Never presented that to us.
A yogi linguist.
We'll catch up real fast from this yogi linguist.
Yeah, go up though.
Oh. Oh, I want to get back to once the truth walkers because she's saying they say with language, but only one or the only example is this, the Sierra sounds.
Yeah.
But they're trying to make it into, out of everyone else's.
Like the Patty films, the only thing they ever show.
Yeah, and like the whoops and everything and the sounds, that's been recorded, but they're only using this to say that it's a language.
Yeah.
Not everything else, not, the grunts and the snorts.
Good point. Elastic Machinery says, I'm trying to remember where that audio is located. Scott says, so many people come up with baseless theories that are going to get people killed. Yeah.
Yep, sure is.
Graybeard says, true. Scott says, hey, everyone, I'm eccentric. I'm weird, but brilliant. Believe my theory.
Yeah, that's this guy.
Graybeard says, LOL, and says, my woods language is hard cast.
There you go.
Night Star's laughing at Scott. Jamie, hey, Jamie.
Jamie.
Says, hello, Jerry, Tracker E, and everyone here.
All right, everybody saying hello to you. And Joyce is saying,
my dog barked. It sounded Russian or maybe Japanese, maybe Italian. A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Multiracial. Graybeard's laughing. Jamie says, is this the Sierra Sounds guy? Well, this is somebody who's interpreted this is another expert speaking on the Sierra Sounds.
Another expert cryptid linguist, he claims to be.
Scott says, Joyce, probably ancient Mongolian.
The dog probably was ancient Mongolian language.
Nine Stars is laughing. Cube says, experts full of theories and vanities get other people killed in the wilderness. Shaking my head. How can something sound like a recognizable language, they say, but they can't understand a word of it? Right. Graybeard says he is the linguist that studied them. Yes.
Yeah, there's one little thing. He studied it and came up with that conclusion.
Cube says halito. Elastic Machinery's laughing.
Mm-hmm. Joyce is agreeing. That's probably right. Scott's laugh.
Jamie says, like Jerry said, these theories are dangerous. Any one person, hey, I'm going to talk to Bigfoot, they speak, then a person is missing. Yeah.
Yeah, sure do. Sure do.
Jamie says, this guy's ego thinks I'm going to figure out Bigfoot. That's all I hear.
Yeah.
Tracker Lorna says, hi, Jamie. Scott says, I'm growing my beard out. I could be this guy. I just need to do some strange things with it and get a rugby shirt. I'm so glad you said something because I almost a couple times said, just fix your mustache first, sir, and just go.
It's a nice rugby shirt.
When he's wondering, he's just got a habit of smoothing his mustache.
And I wouldn't see him playing rugby, not unless
a yogi linguist.
Those are some big guys.
Truth Walker's laughing. Todd Calloway says we should chip in and buy him a new shirt. Yeah, it doesn't work for his leprechaun look that he already has going.
His
just
professional
adds to it
cryptid linguist stature.
It's a very nice shirt. It's just with him, it looks like a costume.
It does.
Jamie says there's one scientist, famous, he's been studying Bigfoot for years, Gigantopithecus. He's hardly ever in the woods. He won't agree with a simple answer. He could lose his funding. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, these guys.
And that is why a lot of them don't stray outside the script because they want that continued funding.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
Oop. Let me back that up. Get the sound back on.
The reason that I know they're not human voices is because I've spent several thousand hours of listening to the human voice on tape.
And we agree with you. They're not human voices. We do agree with you there.
Okay, I don't know anyone that has done that more than I, other than the guy who trained me in the U.S. Navy, right? And it's just a professional assessment I've had to make. But there are real reasons. We know they're not human because they speak at such a higher frequency and such a lower frequency than we do, than humans are capable of. Yet they're making the same types of sounds, the same articulations, you know. So certainly the frequency of the articulations. Then there's the resonance, the volume. It's so easy to tell. To my ear, they have massive lungs. It's easy to hear that. And again, laymen can hear that. You don't need me to tell you. These guys have massive lungs. I've never heard this before.
We agree.
In all my years. You know, but one of the things that I've been able I later on was able to hear on the second or third pass through the tapes was they are speaking. They are articulating on the pant. Okay, now the pant, that's, if you know, a pant for human beings and apes and everything else a pant is an inhale. Okay, these creatures it doesn't seem to bother them whether they're exhaling, which humans do, or whether they're inhaling. Okay, now humans are capable of
You'll hear the growl when that happens. Extremely
difficult. It's like, I can't talk like this if I want. All right, but humans don't do it, right? But these creatures do it with ease.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a big bite. It's big life.
This pizza looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It does. Oh, you got that. Okay. And we're not disagreeing with that. It's got large lungs.
I knew those three. That was the thing that, I mean, I knew those three things immediately sitting there that afternoon with my son. Is that this was a language, pure and simple, and I'd only heard a few words. I could tell. Second one's, it's not a human being, and the third thing is that it was not fake and could not have been faked. So I mean, I knew that right away. But then, the second, third pass when I heard the articulation
2 out of 3 I agree
pants,
with.
I knew that's impossible for a human being to do with those articulations.
It's not human.
Oh, something else, the prosody or the rate of deliverance. The rate of deliverance of the utterance is almost twice as fast as us, as human beings. Now, not all of them. Just like human beings, we can talk fast or we can talk slow. Maybe they were at that moment excited,
mad.
Right? But yeah, the rate of the prosody or the rate
as far as what they're saying,
way beyond what
not emotion
we can do. Maybe auctioneers, After all these years, starting this with Ron, and we've been up on that mountain so many times, the conclusion that we have come to, the only thing that we really can conclude is and Ron is the one that first said this to me. I said, "You're so right, Ron." He says, "Scott, we were up on a mountain." He says, "Scott, there is way more going on with these creatures than we can possibly imagine." And he's right.
He said that's the only conclusion they can reach.
The only conclusion they can reach.
Well, we offer another.
Now, let's listen to a video that we put together a couple of months ago, I guess. And we heard this one time, and we said, well, you know what that is? And so we put it to a video. Oh, okay, here we go. We're going to have to play the video fully through, and then we'll turn the camera back to us. But it's about 4 minutes. We're going to let you know exactly what's going on, and then we'll have a quick discussion.
And again, fair use, educational purposes only
And
for
again,
any of these videos.
Yep. And this is also a fair use video. Now, you've heard the linguist. You've heard, let me put a photo up there. Can y'all still hear us? Just because the photo's up there, just want to make sure. Trying to get it off of the TV. So if y'all can hear us, let us know still. And we'll start the video. Okay, thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Graveyard. Okay, so we've heard from the world's best linguist in the world. We've heard from the best, I don't know if they're the best or not, but they're on national TV and YouTube.
The experts they sought out.
The experts they've sought out to do this. And this is a regular linguist and who gave us a whole bunch of words that he came up with. And the next one, the cryptid linguist, couldn't make anything out and was guessing all the way through it. But he said that it's these Bigfoot's languages. Now, we're going to play our video that we put together a couple months ago when we heard this also. I mean, we've heard it before, but we just didn't, pay it any mind because we knew we knew that they didn't have a language. But when this come out, that they're trying to make it to a language, that they're trying to make it to a human kind of thing, we then put this video together. We listened to it again, and we said, well, this is what it is. Now, we're not those linguist people. We're not cryptid linguists. We're not professional linguists.
We're common sense people.
Common sense, and we know exactly what they're doing. We know about the mimic. We know they don't have a language. So when you know that they don't have a language and they mimic, it's very easy to put two and two together. But these people don't have that common sense. So let's listen to this video real fast, and then we'll be right back.
The predator Bigfoots are trying to lure these men out of their shelter, out of their threshold into the darkness, by mimicking a man abusing and yelling at a woman. The woman is sobbing. All the noise that you're hearing is through a cabin or a home. The sound is, the extra sounds are muffles, or the muffled sound. After the muffled sound, there is the intake of air, and there is the growl, or the low growl. To learn the voices, the Bigfoots sat outside this cabin or this home, listening to these people argue and sob. One mimicking the male and one mimicking the female. When coyotes or the sound of coyotes or Bigfoots in the distance make noise, it is because there are troops close that either need to advance or to pull back. The predator Bigfoots are already in position, waiting for these men to leave their safety and threshold area.
This all began for me in 1971 when I was invited into the camp where these guys have been experiencing these horrific sounds around the camp. It was a nightly thing, and I started going up there. 8 miles in the wilderness, a very imposing area in the Sierra Nevada mountains of California. And nobody up there was looking for Bigfoot. It just really wasn't that way. Because we had repeated visits up there, we started taking cassette tape recorders and recording the sounds.
There's two of them across the creek at the big rocks.
I spent a career in the Navy as a crypto-linguist, a translator of Russian, Spanish, and Persian. I played it, and I immediately knew. I could hear it, and I was stunned. There's a language here, and that is not a human being. The articulation of the phonemes are virtually the same as humans. They make the same sounds that we do, with about 6 or 7 extra ones that I've never heard a human make in any language. It would be impossible to fake something like this.
According to Dr. Lieberman, 1968 at Brown University, only humans have the apparatus for language like we have. That separates us from all the other animals in the kingdom of this earth. So that tells me something pretty significant. If they have the vocal mechanism for language, maybe they're got some human component to them.
Predator Bigfoots are not man. The predators communicate through the mind using mind speak, or a mental connection through an open threshold in the mind. They also communicate through mimicking and symbols. They return mimicking through a reaction or an action of another. They get their human qualities through ingestion of blood, semen, or the woman's milk, the way DNA is transferred. Predator Bigfoots are not man. Okay, we're going to turn this around real fast. Give us 1 second here. Okay. Now, what was going on was, if I was to listen to somebody through this sheetrock, if I was on the other side of this wall and people were arguing in here, and I mimic that sound, you still have to mimic the muffled sound. And you also have to mimic the growl sound. I mean, whenever it's projecting that mimic, it's also growling and the air sound. All that mixed in with the mimic, especially the muffle. That's why you don't hear it clear. You can tell it's a muffle. So these things were sitting outside someone's cabin or someone's home, listening through the wall, listening from the outside. And someone was arguing, the woman was sobbing, and they're listening to mimic that. And this can be used to pull those people out of their safety if they hear it sound like a woman sobbing out there. They didn't do it very well, but they did it well enough to know that that was a mimic sound through a wall, a muffled sound. It's not a language. These things were just mimicking. And if, all these people, these professional people would think about that, it would make perfect sense to them.
That's why they know bits and pieces of words We've got almost 5 pages on mimicking vocalizations and gestures. The first paragraph, the predator Bigfoots and predator Bigfoot hybrids continually try to master their vocal mimicking. This is why we strongly discourage yelling outside for pets or children. The more they hear a voice, the more opportunities they have to master it. It is a sobering thought when you consider that hearing a baby cry in the woods, a woman screaming, or a call for help are mimics from subjects, people that have been studied until mastery. If you hear those sounds in the woods and you're alone and cannot see the source of the sounds, do not explore for yourself. It is far better to note the area and report to authorities. Some big cats also mimic crying and screaming noises, but a predator Bigfoot, after enough practice, is better at it. Its vocals are much stronger. And then we give just example after example of the things that they mimic from animal sounds, human sounds, their own predators, unnatural sounds. One example is deep, gruff, harsh language, which reminds some of samurai. Gibberish, screeches, ape-like sounds, tweets, whistles, clicks, grunts, huffs, sniffs, barks, snorts, growls, hissing and clucking, and infrasound. Infrasound is a low-frequency sound vibration which can incapacitate its prey by causing sweats, palpitations, shortness of breath, rumbling in the chest, anxiety, disorientation, fear, confusion, and unconsciousness. Some of the sounds attributed to wood knocking and rock clacks are actually vocalizations. Many times have been described as sounding like a dinosaur roaring, similar to those heard in the movie Jurassic Park, or like a pterodactyl scream. And then mechanical sound, instrumental sounds with lots of examples, weather and nature sounds. When outside, use low voices or hand signals to communicate with other people, especially children. Do not make it easy for a predator of any sort, human or otherwise, predator Bigfoot or predator Bigfoot hybrid, to call your child by name. And we go on for a couple more pages on that. This photo that this is one of the things that will be in the book that we're doing. Sure is blurry.
Yeah, I'm too close to it.
They're fighting. The Bigfoot's looking in the window, listening to the fighting, and the child's scared, not only because of the fighting, but because
and the Bigfoot's not there
coming there to hear to learn to mimic.
It's not there to protect the kid.
No, it's attracted by the noise, and that's why this one's not finished yet, because we need to have a way to relay that. May change the face to look like a smile, not a grimace.
This is being a new book, but it's
we
not
want to
finished.
make clear it's not there to save the kid, but it's there learning to mimic.
Yeah, just like in the Sierra Sounds, once you really listen to it, you're going to hear two arguing
The distraught woman
through a muffled sound.
Yeah. If you've lived in an apartment,
oh, exactly.
You've heard the neighbors fighting, woman sobbing, man yelling back and forth. You understand?
Yeah, and you can hear that.
And once you hear it now, you're always going to look at that different. And we're the only ones saying this.
Yeah, we're the only ones saying it, but if you just listen to it and think about it, and know that they mimic those sounds.
That's why you might catch a word that's kind of like a word, quite a word.
It's not clear enough because it's through a muffled
sound. Itself is a sound.
Yeah, even if you do words like this, we can kind of make out.
Remember, he talked about they make several different sounds, and there's layers to the voice, kind of like a demon can do too when they're speaking through a human body.
And they have a growl and an intake.
We've got that on very clear audio. We have at 3 o'clock in the morning what sounds like a little girl saying puppy,
but then you
hear that raspy growl layered with it.
Let's catch up on comments and see where we're at. Start off with
Diesel. Hey, Diesel says never seen Bigfoot on a boat. Why is that? dude in one.
Yeah.
Right, but they do get under them boats and tip them boats.
They will tip them. Yeah, they sure will.
Scott says, have you noticed there's a cult of educators? Yes.
Yep.
Graybeard says, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Good song.
Yeah, because they don't have a language, so we know that's wrong. But he said they have big lungs and
we agree.
They almost sound like a language, or they
Yeah,
almost sound
yeah.
like somebody.
Because they're mimicking one.
Yeah.
Bernard says, interesting view, Jerry, on the mimicking. I wasn't even thinking that way when I first heard the sounds.
Oh, good, good.
Graybeard says, yes. Cindy says, yeah. I don't, you must have asked him something.
Oh, yeah, I asked if they could hear us while I had that. I was
okay.
changing everything over.
Cube says, yes, at Scott's Life, I'm noticing a lot of so-called experts claiming to teach us, yet all of them act as if they're in a cult. They sure all stick to the same scripts. Truthwalker says, wait, there are no experts.
Yeah.
Cube says, that's right, Truthwalker, LOL. Scott says, the enemy is purposeful and deceitful. What was the enemy trying to achieve is the question I would be asking myself. Yeah.
They're trying to not know that we have these predators around us and multiple ones.
Yeah.
And to let them keep encroaching upon our families, I would say.
Yeah. Joyce says, just all sounds demonic to me. Yep, demonic bloodline.
It is, it is.
Fallen angel bloodline and demons running with them.
Yeah.
But this is the beast, the physical beast that is here.
Also that mimic sound, the muffled mimic sound.
Cube says, probably confusion leading to more theories to conceal the truth is what I'd guess at Scott's Life.
That's a good one too, yeah.
Bernard says, makes sense, Jerry. Thanks for your views on the mimicking of sounds.
You're welcome, Bernard.
Scott says, Cube, they had an impenetrable structure and they were well armed. I think they were trying to draw them out, get them to break their barrier.
Exactly. And if they heard a woman sobbing,
in distress,
they may like,
we got to go help her.
We got to go help her.
Truthwalker says, and that's proof this is a mimic. If it was a separate language, the words would not be muffled.
You're right. Exactly. Perfect. All right, everyone. Such a great group.
Know, and you can correct everyone.
Correct them all. Now, when you hear them like that's a muffled, that's through a cabin or a house. They're just mimicking. So they don't have a language, and we don't want people thinking that they do. We don't.
Stop trying to humanize them.
Yeah, stop trying to humanize the demon, the predator that's only here to eat and consume.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're getting close enough to be able to say to little children their names to sound like their father or mother to lure them out into the woods. This is horrible. It's terrible.
And Tracker B is one of the people who just had that happen a couple of months back.
Yeah.
Called their child, and the child went around the building.
And remembered that her dad wasn't even home.
And it took off back into the house.
And that's an area heavily infested with the predators.
And that's also across her street. Another little girl had told their father that the big hairy monkey man had taken the dog. And the dog is gone.
And at first, the dad didn't believe. He said that she was lying, but eventually he couldn't help but believe because of all the activity around there.
Yeah, and knowing Tracker B next door.
Missing people. It's a terrible situation.
Lots of missing people there. Happens almost every week, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Jamie says, a Bigfoot imitating humans is scary. I hear a woman scary because a woman in distress pulls at your heartstrings. There you go to the rescue. That's exactly it. Or a baby crying.
Yeah.
Tracker Lorna says, God bless everyone. Have a good Thanksgiving. You too, Tracker Lorna.
You too.
We'll go ahead and pray and let everybody get going. They're probably going to get up early and start cooking in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for spending this time with us, and have a blessed day with your families and friends. And we hope that you eat till you are so full you got to take it out.
Hey. Don't eat too much.
Enjoy it. Thank you, Father, just for this group of people. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share what we've learned with them. We love you, Lord. Take care of everybody tomorrow. Let families be closer after the holiday and not less so. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. It was so good having everybody here tonight. It was fun. And we're glad to share that. We just had too many people are sharing the wrong information. And we just wanted to make sure that everyone had the right information. And we appreciate everyone spending this time with us. And we will see everyone as soon as we can, because we don't really know, but
yeah, but soon.
But soon.
So check your notification bells.
Yeah, definitely.
On both, on the Lead Tracker E1 too, because we also have stuff coming up on that.
And also hit that like button. Let's try to get. Hey, is that Jody?
Jody, glad you're here.
Jody.
Have you been in here? Have you been in here?
Have you been here, Jody?
Thank you, Jody.
Thank you, Jody, so much.
Thank you very much.
I hope you didn't just come in, because if you did, rewatch this. It's got a lot of information, and we would love for you to have that information also. And we will see everyone, and everyone have a great night. Rest well, no dreaming. But if you don't dream, you get plenty of rest.
Yeah.
And we will see y'all as soon as all we can say right now.
Good night, warriors.
Good night, warriors.
Hit like on your way out of
So beautiful. Look at that.
The lady's boots fit.
So weird. The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone that's lost in the woods. You gotta say a prayer.